This is Audible.
Cash is King, a Billionaire romance by Shanna Handel, narrated by Brandon Francis. Shanna Handel is an internationally best-selling author of Billionaire romance. Sign up for Shanna's newsletter at www.shannahandelromance.com to keep up with all her new releases and receive offers for free books. Chapter 1. Ella. I can't believe I'm back. It happened weeks ago. I shouldn't still be coming here. Miss? The cab driver's voice pulls me from my thoughts. He studies my face, concern etched in the lines of his. You sure you want me to leave you here? Don't worry, I'll be fine. My fingers reach for the car door handle. Thanks. You sure we're at the right place? His eyes dart up to the sign arching over the entrance. Should you be here alone? At midnight? You sure you don't want me to stay and wait for you? I shake my head, offering what I hope is a convincing smile. No, really, I'll be okay. He remains unconvinced this is a good idea. I'm with him. Getting dropped off alone in a graveyard probably isn't my best idea, but we're already here. Thanks again. I open the door and the cool night air rushes into the car. I've got one foot on the ground, but a clearing of the driver's throat stops me. He says, are you forgetting something? What? He glances at the phone in my hand. You gonna pay me? Oh, shoot! Sorry, hang on. I pull up the app, sending him the payment and a generous tip I can't afford. Thanks. Seriously. You're welcome, and be safe. He shoots me one last worried look. I shut the door, my boots crunching over the gravel drive as I make my way to the paved path. The cab pulls away slowly, like the driver is unsure about his moral obligation in leaving a woman alone in a place like this, in the middle of the night. I'll be fine. The angry squawk of a low-flying crow makes me glance up. He's so close I can see his glittering eyes. Creepy. Okay, I'm 99% sure I'll be fine. The full moon is bright, lighting the night with an eerie bluish tint. It's beautiful, but in that haunting way that finds you holding your breath, waiting for something to happen. A chilly gust of wind caresses my face. Tendrils of my long dark hair get stuck to my lip gloss. I stare up at the moon as if it's a promise of something beautiful to come. A ding from my phone startles me, making me pause my journey. I look down at the screen. Shit. It's an alert from my bank. Of course. My little splurge on the cab overdrafted my checking account. Looks like I'm walking home. I quickly splash a little cash from my dwindling savings account over to my checking. I keep going, my eyes scanning the headstones. I'm almost to his. As soon as I see the name on the grave, tears spring to my eyes. I shouldn't still be crying. I don't even miss him. But here I am, standing at his headstone, dabbing my eyes with a crumpled napkin I found in the pocket of my trusty yet worn gray wool coat. Why do I keep coming back here? He's gone, and I've got to move on. I don't know what haunts me more, the guilt or the sadness. After all, the death of a monster is still a loss of life. I just hate that I was involved in someone's violent end. My phone dings again, this time with the sound I use for an email notification. Kinda late for an email. I slip the phone from my pocket, sighing as I swipe my finger over the screen. It's from my boss. My ex-boss, as of today. My fingers shake as I hold the phone closer to read the email. Dear Ella, I received your letter of resignation. Thank you for aiding the primary school and making this a smooth process in what is otherwise a very unique situation. Unique. Code word for disastrous, I tell the headstones. As we discussed, 2 weeks' pay will be transferred to your account tomorrow as severance. Best, Miss Ross. 2 weeks' pay gives me time to find a job, hopefully. And hey, being unemployed means I can sleep in tomorrow. I guess being a person of interest in a murder investigation has its perks after all. I slip my phone back into the pocket of my coat. The wind is growing stronger, rustling up a tornado of dried leaves at the heels of my black leather boots. Equally as worn as my coat, but with a little polish they're no worse for the wear. I pull my coat tighter around me. It's time to leave. I give his name one more glance, my emotions caught somewhere between anger and relief. Why did he have to do what he did? And why did I do what I did? My heels click against the pavement as I make my way over the moonlit hill. Huge concrete memorials mark the graves to my right. Smaller rounded headstones like his to my left. A chill runs through me, the hairs on the back of my neck standing on end. I'm ready to be home, if you can call my bleak 300 square feet of New York City real estate a home. I live in a crumbling Victorian that was chopped up into apartments in the late 70s. The only thing I can afford by myself. A streak of black darts across my path. I stop in my tracks. Rabid raccoon? Deranged possum? A ghost of critters past? A pathetic little meow rings through the night. Aw, it's a cat. An all-black cat, no less. Good thing I'm not superstitious. Just a little stitious. Too late, buddy. I've already had all the bad luck one girl can take. Green eyes flash from behind a headstone in response. Another meow. This one more desperate than the first. Being orphaned myself, I'm a sucker for a stray. I crouch down, offering an opened palm. Here, sweetheart. You want a little pet? The cat gives me a curious look, but his desire to be scratched behind the ears wins out. He curls around me, making figure eights around my ankles as I stroke his silky fur. He's almost all black, but with white markings on his feet like boots. I scratch behind his ear. He purrs. Boots is too cliché a name for you, isn't it? How about Pepper? I'm startled by the deep rumbling sound of a man's voice. Shit. I'm not alone after all. I look up into the bluest set of eyes I've ever seen. The man clears his throat. Then his husky tone caresses the night air once more. His name is Pepper. At least that's what I've been calling him. I rise, brushing fur from my hands. Oh, is he yours? He shakes his head. No, he's just always here. I started bringing him treats when I come. He's already emptied my pockets for the night. That's sweet. I'm probably safe, but who is this man alone in the graveyard feeding a cat? Trying to not be too obvious, I sneak in a gawk. Thanks to the bright light of the moon, I get a good look. Upon further inspection, the man is gorgeous. Tall enough you could wear your highest heels next to him and still feel dainty. Broad shoulders that fill out what looks to be a ridiculously expensive suit that fits him so perfectly it had to be made just for him. Square jaw, perfectly formed lips that curl at one corner. Dark hair makes a stunning contrast with his blue eyes. His hair is cropped in a utilitarian look, but judging from the scent of his clean cologne and the just barely there shadow darkening his chiseled jawline, he's not one to overlook his grooming. With this backdrop, he could be one of those colon vampire men. He's that good-looking. In fact, he's drop-dead gorgeous. A fitting description for a man in a cemetery. A nervous giggle brims up. I cover my mouth with my hand, trying to hide it. He lifts a dark brow in a perfect arch. What's so funny? The steely look he's giving me dries the giggle right up. I shake my head, clearing my throat. Nothing. He takes a step toward me. What the hell are you doing in a graveyard anyway? Not exactly the safest place to be, is it? The sternness in his tone surprises me. The cemetery is suddenly eerily quiet, and I'm painfully aware of how alone I am with this stranger. I take a step back. I could ask you the same thing. He gives one of those caveman-like grunts. I'm perfectly fine. But you are a woman? I offer a grin. Yes, I'm well aware. Have been since birth. His eyes cut into me, making me rethink my cheeky stance. I clear my throat, glancing down at the toes of my shoes. But I've been coming here for weeks, and you're the first person I've ever seen. I nod to the cat. Well, besides Pepper here. Pepper gives a whiny meow, brushing up against Mr. Handsome's $80,000 suit, surely leaving a dusting of fur behind. You've been coming here alone? For weeks? His brow cocks even higher, a feat I'd not have thought possible if I wasn't seeing it with my own eyes. A shiver runs through me at the look he gives me, like I'm a naughty little schoolgirl caught by the principal. He stares at me, hard, waiting for an explanation. I don't have one for him. He presses. Well? I clear my throat. I'm not sure that's any of your business, sir. Sir? Where did that come from? A flicker dances through his gaze. Did he like me calling him sir? He tilts that Hollywood jaw at a dangerously enticing angle. Maybe so, but still, if you're going to come out here alone at night, at least use my driver. He slips a hand into his pocket, pulling out a wallet. He slips a shiny black business card from it, handing it to me. Here. Does he have his own driver? I can't even afford a round-trip cab. And why does he offer a nobody like me such a perk? Okay. I take the card. He gestures over his shoulder at a sleek black SUV waiting at the curb. Call me and I'll have Gregory pick you up, bring you here, and wait for you until you're done. That smoldering, authoritative look. He's got me pressing my thighs together. A warm tingling dancing over my sex. Daddy issues, my best friend Chloe would say if she could see the blush on my face. My nipples tighten under my thin blouse, and I'm grateful for the thick coat that hides them. I glance down at the card. His name is in gold letters flashing across the front. Cash Bachman. Shit. The Cash Bachman? The broody billionaire who runs finances for the elusive Bachman family? It's better to keep my distance. I go to hand him the card back. Thanks, Mr. Bachman, but I can't accept. It's cash. He stops me, his cold fingers wrapping firmly around mine, and I don't take no for an answer. His skin is cold, but it leaves a trail of heat behind on my flesh. Gregory will take you home tonight. I'll walk. He pulls his hand away, giving me one long look with those icy blue eyes. Don't let me see you out here alone again. What should I do? Run in the opposite direction? Call for help? But I find my sleek black boots have a mind of their own. They tip-tap away, following Cash obediently along the pavement to the SUV. Submissive little things, aren't you? You're supposed to be girl power fuck-me boots. Pepper trots by my side, but only as far as the line of trees that edge the sidewalk. He gives a goodbye meow and darts off into a holly bush. Cash opens the door for me. Just give Gregory your address and he'll have you home safe and sound. I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm slipping into the back seat of a stranger's car. Cash Bachman's car, no less. My ass gliding across the velvety leather. Thank you? He gives a curt nod. His eyes hold mine a beat too long, making heat rise in my cheeks. He looks as if he wants to say more, but instead he locks his jaw, that muscle at the back of his earlobe twitching. He closes the door, and I'm left with 100 questions swirling around in my head. What was he doing in the graveyard alone? Why does he care about my safety? And is he as elusive as all the women say he is? And the Bachman family, oh, the things I've heard about them. Some call them a mafia, others a brotherhood. Some say they dominate their women, keeping them under their thumbs with the threat of violence. Others say Bachmans kill for sport. And Cash in particular has quite a reputation. Apparently, he doesn't date. The man is in high demand by the single ladies in the city, and they're all pissed off as hell because apparently he's too good to commit to one. I've had enough bad boy drama for one lifetime. No way this wealthy GQ hottie would be interested in someone like me. But the last thing I want to do is give him the wrong impression. Miss, where to? Huh? Torn from my thoughts, I look up into the kind eyes of the driver reflecting back in the rearview mirror. What's your address, love? Gregory asks patiently. Oh, right. I give him the address and he pulls the car smoothly from the curb. I glance out the window looking for Cash, but I can't find him. He's gone. Chapter 2. Cash. If she was my girl, she wouldn't sit for a week. Walking around alone in a cemetery? What was she thinking? The first thing I do when I get home is find out her address from Gregory. She lives off Prince Street, a 10-minute drive from the cemetery, in a run-down Victorian shack that's been divided up into apartments the size of shoeboxes. She's not much safer there than she is in the damn graveyard. Why do I care? I can't get the image of her out of my mind. The curve of her face, her pale skin lit by the moon, the way her pretty dark eyes glittered as she covered her mouth with her hand, laughing at me like she had a little secret joke. I spoke to her, all of 5 minutes? I can't stop thinking about her. It's unnerving. I like women. I admire women. I have a lot of women. But once they've rolled out of my bed and left only the trace of their perfume behind in my apartment, I don't give them another thought. What makes her different? She's beautiful, no doubt about that, but in New York City, beautiful women are everywhere. You can't turn a corner without holding a door open for one. No, her looks are not what has me grabbing my phone right now to call Mateo. He picks up on the first ring. Cash, what's up? I need a favor. 10 minutes later, I'm opening a file on my computer. I take my time, removing my cufflinks, rolling up the sleeves of my shirt, pouring myself a bourbon, neat. Despite the protest from my housewife, as I affectionately call my godsend, Betty, I turned down dinner. I'm not in the mood for food. I'm in the mood for Ella. Cash. Betty stands in the doorway, reading glasses perched on top of her head. She wipes her perfectly clean hands on her apron. I already know what's coming. Yes, Betty? This whole you not wanting dinner thing wouldn't happen to be about a female, would it? No, Betty. She literally cannot help herself. Betty's been looking out for me since I hired her when I was 20, and she takes my well-being, as well as my dating life, very seriously. Really? Because I've not known you to turn down my chicken pot pie before. She gives me an I don't believe you look that could crack a weaker man. If I ever get serious with a woman, you'll be the first to know, I promise. I send Betty home. I want to be alone. Pages of information on Ella fill my computer screen. She was a ward of the state, abandoned at a hospital at the age of 5. She was put into foster care and floated from one home to the next. A girl this enchanting? How is it possible she was never adopted? Looks like she worked her ass off in high school. Despite changing schools 3 times in 4 years, she earned herself a scholarship, got a degree in teaching. Up until last week, she was a star employee for the primary school, one of the most exclusive preschools in Manhattan. I know several people who send their kids there. Hell, my brother sends his daughter there. Thinking of Christian used to make me smile. But ever since that gut-wrenching phone call from him a month ago, I've had to push the thought of him away before the rising emotions can take hold. Maybe that's why I picked up the phone tonight to call Mateo. My life is spinning out of my orbit, and I need something to control. Her. Moving on. Did she quit? No, it looks like she was let go. What the hell happened? Here it is. We have friends high up in the NYPD that do us favors. I'm looking at a police report. Mateo's underlined her name in bold red. Captain Dan Leibel of the NYPD. Miss Ella Hart of 117 Prince Street contacted 911 emergency services at midnight on the 5th of November. 4 officers responded to the scene at the Upper East Side apartment of one Mr. Aaron Goodfellows, a local artist who houses a gallery below his apartment. Miss Hart was found cradling the body of Mr. Goodfellows. A weapon was in her hand, a 9mm firearm registered to the above-referenced Mr. Aaron Goodfellows. I skim over the gory details. The apartment was deemed a possible crime scene and a forensic team was called in to evaluate. Miss Ella Hart was taken to the station and questioned as a possible person of interest should this be ruled a murder investigation instead of a suicide. She refused to answer any questions, deciding she would seek the counsel of a private law firm. Addendum added later. Miss Ella Hart has retained the services of a lawyer. Murder? What the hell? My eyes scan the rest of the document, reading as fast as I can. Why wasn't his death immediately ruled a suicide? I need the forensic report. I shuffle through the rest of the file Mateo sent, finding some statements a junior officer jotted down after interviewing other people who were in the apartment that night. Neighbors in the apartment building reported that there were frequent domestic disturbances between the couple. There was one call to the police, but the neighbors indicated a tearful Ella turned them away from the door, telling them all was good. It was just a lover's spat that had been resolved and they'd try to be more quiet. She's under investigation as a person of interest. An abused girlfriend who couldn't take any more and shot her lover? Too simple. Too obvious. I'm a damn good judge of people. So is Pepper. And Ella is no murderer. I scan the screen, looking to see who's representing her. Preston Bachman. No shit. Our family firm. I call up Preston, a good buddy of mine, to get the details of the case. How'd you even end up with her? I thought Bachman and Bachman were only representing family these days.
Fuck, Cash. What time is it?
Preston yawns. I forgot how damn late it is. I never sleep. Sorry, man. But now that you're up, care to tell me what you know?
She just walked in off the street a couple weeks ago. Said she was on her way to work and saw the sign and needed a good lawyer. I didn't have the heart to turn her away.
Does she have a case?
It's going to be hard to prove. I think the douchebag set up his suicide in a way to intentionally make it look like she offed him. His final fuck you to her. That, or he had trouble with someone else and they did the deed, knowing it'd be pinned on Ella.
A bristly prickle creeps up the back of my neck, my hackles rising like a guard dog's. Sounds like she's wrapped up in something pretty ugly.
Yeah, and now she's lost her job over the whole thing. I have no idea how she's going to pay. She set up a meeting with me tomorrow. I'm sure that's what it's about. She's probably going to tell me she needs to switch to a public defender, but there's no way they're going to get her off. She needs our name behind her.
He gives another deep yawn. My mouth moves before my brain can process what I'm blurting out. Whatever you do, don't let her leave the firm.
Huh? You know this girl?
Preston's finally awake. What do I say? I bumped into her in a graveyard and she put some fucking spell on me? Enchanted me with her beautiful eyes? The full moon played some kind of trick on me, leaving me wanting to bankroll the life of a perfect stranger? I go with a simple answer. No, but like you said, she needs our name behind her. I'll pay. I really don't know what it is about Ella that has me going all altruistic, but she needs our backing and it's pennies to me.
Cash, you sure you want to get involved?
His voice drops, empathy creeping in.
You've got enough on your plate with Christian.
Preston. I cut him off, blurting out. I'm looking for a secretary. Fuck. What the hell are you doing, Cash? Anna retired last week, kissed my cheek and headed for Hawaii. I haven't had the heart to interview a replacement yet. Preston laughs.
I thought you only hired older ladies. Granny types to keep your men and yourself from getting distracted from your work.
I think of Ella's alluring face under the moonlight. She'll be as distracting as hell, but for her... I'm making an exception. She can work for me. I'll pay her a generous annual salary.
That's philanthropic of you, bro.
His voice lifts.
Wouldn't happen to be because that girl's got a banging body, would it?
I wouldn't know. I give a gruff growl. I don't like Preston talking about her like that. Just know, she's mine.
There's a beat of silence as an acknowledgement passes between us. We have a code in the Bachman Brotherhood. If a girl is under our wing, she's to be spoken of with respect, and no one else can touch her.
The joking drains from his tone.
All right then, you got it. I'll offer her the job when she comes in tomorrow.
Have her at Bachman Enterprises by noon.
Shit, you're gonna let her in the village just like that? We don't even know this girl.
She's harmless. I cut him off. Have her sign the NDA and have her at Enterprises by noon.
Sure. He scoffs. A person of interest in a murder investigation. Harmless.
Just have her sign the NDA, will you?
Yeah, I will. It's your ass on the line if she is crazy.
He waits a beat before asking his next question.
Do you want her to sign the contract too?
The contract. A document that basically gives me full rights to correct this girl if she puts her safety at risk, or does anything else that displeases me, however I see fit. A piece of paper that legally makes me her dom. There are things spinning out of control in my life right now. Gut-wrenching things that keep me awake at night. Problems that no matter how much money or power a man might have, he can't fix. I need to take control where I can. I'd definitely like to control her. I think of her full, pretty pout, and my cock stiffens in my pants. Sounds like her life is spinning out of orbit as well. It'd be good for her to have some structure, a special kind that only I can provide. Yeah, have her sign that too. I swallow down the lump of doubt in my throat. Make it for the first 3 weeks of her employment. She'll be my secretary and I'll pay her bi-weekly, and in exchange, I'll pay off all her current and upcoming attorney fees to Bachman and Bachman on top of her salary. He gives a low whistle.
Damn, lucky son of a bitch. She's gorgeous.
She is, and she's mine. I won't let Preston forget it. I won't let anyone forget it. Least of all her.
Chapter 3. Ella.
Preston sits across from me, hands folded on the desktop, a smile curling at the corners of his lips. He's got the kind of look that Chloe would dub as handsome as the devil. His hair is a sexily disheveled mass of dark blonde with hints of gold at the tips, a perfect contrast to his blue-green eyes. Judging by his golden-brown skin, his highlights are natural and from the sun. He wears a gold Rolex around his wrist, and I've seen his gold Land Rover parked out front. Devil in gold. The nickname makes one of my inappropriate giggles threaten to climb up the back of my throat. I swallow it down. The lawyer flashes me a row of straight white teeth.
I know why you came in this morning.
You do? I think of the mounting stack of bills that wrench my stomach every time I see them. How?
We heard you lost your job,
he says.
Care to tell me about that?
A lump forms in the back of my throat, and I swallow it down. So Miss Frosty... His right brow rises.
Frosty? Is that really her last name?
Sorry, I meant Miss Ross. She can be, a bit cold at times? Oops. I sneak a look at Preston, but he's giving me a friendly smirk. Anyway, after the authorities questioned her over my case, she called me into her office and fired me.
I see,
he says. When Miss Frosty pushed her wire-rimmed glasses up the bridge of her nose and adjusted her cardigan around her shoulders, I knew it was going to be bad news. Sure enough, her next words were, "So sorry about this, Ella, but we're going to need you to clean out your desk indefinitely." I offer a bit more information. She said it was best for the kids, and I agreed. I love those kids like they're my own. And yeah, they don't need to be wrapped up in this. I don't tell Preston how my eyes filled with tears, and I cried my way through packing up my meager belongings from my classroom. He gives a gentle nod.
That's tough, and not altogether fair. I mean, it's innocent until proven guilty, right? But honestly, a teacher's salary wasn't going to cover your attorney fees.
His words are like a lead weight settling in the center of my chest. I nod. I understand.
But the Bachmans won't leave you hanging.
His eyes lock on mine.
You've gotten an offer.
An offer? I ask. There's that devilish grin again, curling at the corner of his mouth. What kind of offer?
Cash Bachman is looking for a secretary. You got any experience with that?
Cash? The gorgeous guy from the graveyard? What does a man like him want with me? Let's find out. I straighten up in my chair. I did admin work as a temp all 4 years of college to supplement my scholarship and to save up for first and last on an apartment in the city when I graduated, so I know the turf well.
Cash is offering you a generous salary if you can start today. His last secretary retired and he's not found a suitable replacement yet.
Preston glides a slip of paper with my proposed monthly salary across the desk. I lean forward and take a peek. Holy cow, that's a lot of zeros. Is this for real? I clear my throat. That's a lot of money for admin work. He flashes me his $1,000,000 grin.
We Bachmans value the person over the task. When we find the right person for the job, we make it worth their while.
Okay, am I the right person for the job? I mean, organization makes my heart happy and I've been called type A to the max. I know I can handle the work. But working for cash? That's another story.
There is one thing, though, before you decide.
He slides a crisp document across the desk to me.
You have to sign this. A non-disclosure agreement. Are you familiar with these?
An NDA? I ask. I signed one of these for school. I had no problem signing it.
Great.
He hands me a pen. I don't talk to anyone other than Chloe, and these days I'm barely talking to her. We used to be so close. Talking on the phone every night, binging junk food from food carts and people watching on the weekends. Then, Aaron. And now Chloe and I aren't as close. So I'm fine with an NDA. Besides, all we have are secrets. God knows I have enough of my own. It's not my place to share someone else's. I skim the paper. It says I can't reveal the existence or location of the village, whatever that is, or Bachman Enterprises, or my work with the family. The NDA makes it very clear that I will need to keep my mouth shut or I'll be in a world of trouble. After glancing over the rest of the document, I sum up that basically I won't be able to talk about the Bachmans' goings-on with anyone. Ever. Whatever. I sign my name across the bottom line. Done. I push the paper back to him. His grin returns. A flash of something dances through his eyes. There's one more thing. Cash Bachman has offered to pay your attorney fees for you, in addition to the salary. My bill here? A flutter of hope dances in my heart. I hate being in debt, but why would he do that? I narrow my gaze. What's the catch? You're sharp, he laughs. It's a contract, from Cash. A creeping icicle of doubt tickles my spine. What kind of contract? I think it's best if you read it. All of it. He slips the paper to me and stands from the desk. I'll give you a minute. I watch Preston leave, and it's not until the door closes that I have the courage to read the document. The memory of Cash's steely gaze burns in my mind, that sky-high brow daring me to disobey. His deep, gravelly voice rumbles through my head as I read his words. Heat rushes to my face as I shift in my seat, pressing my thighs together under my black pencil skirt. I, Ella Hart, am of sound mind and grant Cash Bachman the submission of my own free will for the duration of the first 3 weeks of my employment under him. Clause 1. As my dominant, Cash Bachman will see to my health, safety, and general well-being. As his submissive, I will submit to his care and guidance. I will satisfy his needs and desires to the best of my abilities, in hopes that I will be found pleasing to him. In order to do so, I offer him the use of my body. Use of my body? What in the actual... I can barely go on, but my curiosity gets the best of me. Clause 2. Mr. Bachman may punish me when I disobey. Any punishment will be determined by him, the severity dependent upon the severity of the infraction and the displeasure I cause Mr. Bachman. He may use my body to punish me at any time, in any manner, anywhere, and in front of anyone he deems appropriate. My head swirls, filling with clouds, my lips going numb as I read the contract. The "in front of anyone" part makes my stomach flip, but I keep reading, the paper shaking in my trembling fingers. Clause 3. If Mr. Bachman gives me a token of my submission, I will wear it 24 hours a day and will not remove it unless I am instructed to do so by Mr. Bachman. Clause 4. I will address Mr. Bachman as Sir. Clause 5. I will wear work attire that Mr. Bachman finds pleasing. Pants are strictly forbidden. Heels are required. Clause 6. If I require any items for my wardrobe or personal health, I will request these from Mr. Bachman and he will incur the charge. Clause 7. While under Mr. Bachman's care, I will care for my health appropriately and see the Bachman family physician. I will also follow all of Mr. Bachman's instructions for my personal safety. There are more clauses. A lot more. I read every single shameful word. I can't sign this. I'm not going to become his sex toy just so I can pay my lawyer fees. My core disagrees, heat flashing through it like I've already committed, and I'm waiting to see what he'll do to me first. I shift in my seat, pulling my blouse away from my skin, fanning myself. What choice do I have? Everyone has seen the news. No one will hire me, and I need the Bachman law firm behind me. It's only 3 weeks. I can do anything for 3 weeks. Right? I pick up the pen, twisting it between my fingers. Why does he even want me? Does he feel sorry for me? Does he just need a new plaything to alleviate the boredom of being ridiculously wealthy? I can't make this decision alone. I want to call Chloe so badly, but there's been such a strain between us. Instead, I slip my wallet from my purse, digging through the zippered part for a coin. I pull out a shiny quarter. Heads. I sign it. Tails. I run for my life, take my chances with the public defender, and never come back here again. I flip the coin. My mind spaces, and it's like I'm watching the quarter flip through the air in slow motion. It lands on the desktop with an innocent little tink sound. My stomach ties in knots. I can't look. Part of me, the shameful, smutty side, The side that had my panties melting off when I read the contract wants it to be heads. My sensible side knows that tails is the only way out of this. Anything other than walking out the door would be insanity. Closing my eyes, I lean forward. I draw in a deep breath and hold it. I have to look. Tails. My stomach drops. What? Is this disappointment that I'm feeling? One coin flip and all of a sudden I'm wondering what kind of 50 Shades of Grey sexy debauchery I'm missing out on. Best 2 out of 3. I toss the coin in the air. Tails, again. There it is. That sinking feeling in my gut. Holy cow. I want to sign this contract. I'm curious as hell. What is wrong with me? I pick up the pen. Oh my God. Do it, Ella. Do it quickly. I hover the tip of the pen over the line. A thought comes to me. A possible way to give this a test run before I commit. My devious plan gives me a little spark of my control back. Would he notice? What the heck? I'll give it a go. I sign. Preston returns, snatching the paper from me before I can change my mind. He ushers me down to a sleek black sedan that's waiting at the curb. Is this for me? Preston holds the door open. Yep, it's for me. He flashes me a grin.
Best of luck, Ella. Kick ass on your first day.
Thanks. I slide into the car. My high heels pinch my feet. But what does it matter when I'm being chauffeured around in the back of this beautiful car? I run my hand along the leather seat. A girl could get used to riding around the city in style. No angry people bumping into you. No humidity to ruin the hair you've just painstakingly blown out or the makeup you so carefully applied. When I got ready this morning, I thought I would be firing my lawyer because I couldn't pay him, then unsuccessfully scanning LinkedIn for a job. Now I'm riding in the back of a Bentley headed to somewhere called The Village. Who is taking me there? I sneak a peek in the rearview mirror. This driver is not Gregory. He's a big man with a shaved head, a black swirling tattoo covering what I can see of his upper arm and shoulder. He introduces himself as Acestus.
But everyone calls me Ace,
he says with a heavy Mediterranean accent. I'm too shy to ask if he was named after the Greek god. With Ace focused on his driving and staring straight ahead, I take the opportunity to finally call Chloe. After signing a contract like that, someone needs to know where I am, and she's all I've got. She picks up on the first ring, and after exchanging pleasantries, I quickly explain the situation, keeping in mind the NDA I've signed, and leaving out the part where Cash is my dom.
I can't believe you're doing this, my best friend frets into the phone. I mean, I've heard the Bachmans are gorgeous and rich AF, but to just climb into his car and be taken to God knows where to work for him, this is crazy, Elle.
What was I supposed to do? When I went to meet with my lawyer this morning, I had to tell him I couldn't afford him anymore, that I was going with a public defender. There was no way they'd be able to get me off.
And he just said, work for Cash and he'll pay your bills? That's crazy.
Yes, that's exactly what he said. Chloe clucks her tongue.
Well, there's no way a guy like him is just expecting some filing and coffee runs in exchange for payment like that. Surely he's looking for a little something on the side.
I think of the contract. I don't tell her about the smolderingly sexy document I just signed. Let's just say Mr. Bachman is expecting a lot more than coffee from me. I clear my throat. Don't be silly, I'll be fine. He's just a grumpy boss in desperate need of a secretary. He's nothing I can't handle. Her voice gets tight.
But if he does want something from you, you sure that's right? You know, so soon after...
Her words trail off. I know what she's thinking. How could I be moving on so quickly? Chloe always had a soft spot for my ex. I kept what was going on behind closed doors. She has no idea what I went through. It's fine, I'm fine.
Just keep me posted, okay?
There's tension in her voice. Am I losing my only friend? But then she says,
after work drinks tonight at the dive?
Sure. Her offer gives me hope that we'll get back to our old routine of talking every day and hanging out every weekend. We say our goodbyes and I slip my phone back into my bag. I run my palms over my thighs as I stare out the window. Where are we? I've never been on this side of town before. The shop fronts boast beautiful glass doors attached to old brownstones. The words Bachman's Jeweler swirl in gold font above a red awning. They have their own law firm and their own jewelry store? Impossible. We stop at a light and I lean toward the window to get a better look inside. A perky woman with brown curls and a floral dress smiles as she helps a man in a black suit. The wave of his hair and the way he holds tension in his shoulders. The man looks a lot like Cash. I press my back against the seat, willing air to fill my lungs as I wipe my damp palms against my skirt. I can't believe I signed that contract. There were nervous butterflies in my stomach as I held the pen in my hand. I'd be lying if I said their tickling wings didn't make their way into my core, my sex clenching and dampening the black silk panties I'd carefully chosen this morning. Ace pulls the car up to a discreet gate painted to blend in with the storefronts it sits between. If I'd been walking by, I wouldn't have even noticed it. I lean forward in my seat. "Excuse me, sir?" Look at me already getting used to using the patriarchal word. "Can you tell me what the village is?"
Better I just show you. This,"
he holds his phone up to a small black box that's set into the stone wall,
"is the village."
The gate opens, revealing another gate. He pulls the car forward. The second gate opens. I slide to the center of the back seat, one hand holding onto the back of Ace's seat, the other onto the passenger side. I feel my mouth fall open, my eyes widening. This is the village? Holy shit! Who knew all of this was back here? Hidden by a square wall of the backs of brownstones, much like the wall of a castle fortress, is a town. Like an entire town. An entire, beautiful town like the set of a movie. A romantic one. The kind that makes you want to curl up on the couch in an oversized cardigan with a mug of cocoa with whipped cream and sprinkles. The kind of movie that if you were alone and there was no one there to laugh at you, you'd hit replay the second the credits rolled and watch it all over again. Tree-lined, perfectly manicured streets, 3-story row homes, brightly colored front doors with elegant wreaths hanging from them. Beautiful couples dressed like they're shooting a magazine ad for overpriced clothing walk arm in arm down the sidewalk. Ace drives slowly, giving me a tour. A grassy field sits in the center of the town, bistro tables dotting it. People laugh as they pour wine. Is it even noon? And nibble at bits of cheese and bread. We follow the road past 7 side streets, each one marked by a green street sign with elegant, swirling gold letters, 1st through 7th. Past the residential area, a large gray building looms over us. The massive sign reads Bachman Enterprises, in bold, industrial-looking letters. This is where I work now. A far cry from sticky fingers and tempera paints, and a room that, no matter how much I have the rug steam cleaned, smells slightly like soured milk. Far away from the hushed whispers and dark stares of the mothers as they tug their children from my classroom. They put their hands over their mouths, but still speak loudly enough for me to hear them. "Did you read the latest article? They think she killed him. I heard he was abusive. Can't you just leave? You don't have to kill the man, for God's sake. A woman this unhinged? No way are our kids safe with her."
"Here we are, Miss Hart."
Ace's deep voice pops me out of my dark thoughts. My mouth is cottony as I go to speak. I have to clear my throat, stalling as I wait for the twisting knot of nerves to settle in my stomach. My fingers sweat against the leather seat as I realize I'm clutching it tightly, my knuckles white. I have to walk into that building. I signed a contract. A filthy, make your grandma turn over in her grave, make your panties melt off your body, you must be crazy for even reading it, contract. But I can't move. My body is frozen to the seat, rigor mortis stiffening my joints. I can't go in there. I can't do the things that the contract said I would have to do. Ace turns to me, looking over his shoulder. His broad face is handsome. There's a scar over his left eye and what looks like a break at the top of the bridge of his Roman nose. After giving me a long look, he exits the car, coming around to my door and holding it open for me. I don't budge. I can't. Why, oh why did I sign that damned contract? He raises a brow.
"Mr. Cash does not like to be kept waiting."
I swallow again, hard. Okay. I can do this. I can get out of this car. walk into that building and be the best damn secretary that ice-cold, kinky-ass billionaire bosshole has ever seen. Not that I know he's going to be a bosshole, but that contract, yeah, it gave me a pretty clear picture of how he likes to be in control and that he's bossy as hell. On shaking stilettos, I step out onto the sidewalk. I look up, taking in the massive building that towers over me. I stop myself from the nervous habit I have of wiping my palms on my skirt. Instead, I straighten the fabric into place and make sure my hair falls just so over my shoulders, in hopes that I will be found pleasing to him. What am I doing? Feeling the pinch of my heels, I offer my beefcake driver a grateful smile. Thank you very much for the ride. Ace crosses his arms over his chest. His biceps are bulging.
8 o'clock.
I'm sorry? He raises a brow.
Tomorrow morning, I pick you up at 8 o'clock. How you say, on the dot. Don't be late, skater.
Skater? Ah, I hate to correct this giant of a man, but the teacher in me can't hold my tongue. I think you mean later, skater, as in, see you later, skater?
I mean...
His dark eyes flash at me.
Don't be late.
More stern brow and daddy looks are fired my way, making my tongue wag with obedience. Yes, sir. He gives a satisfied nod and stands there. Is he waiting for me to go in? He tilts his chin toward the door in a command. Yep, he's waiting all right. I guess he's going to stand there until I'm safely inside. And they say chivalry is dead. Pfft. I do my best to look elegant as I make my way to the door, but the height of the heels and the tightness of the skirt make it impossible. I'm sure I look more like a pigeon-toed duck than the elegant woman gliding down the sidewalks of this village. Still, I aim to please, right? God knows I have to please him. I need this job. I need to follow this contract, just for 3 weeks, Ella, and keep this man happy. I am in desperate need of a really good lawyer, and someone to pay the price tag that comes with it. Otherwise, I'm completely and utterly screwed.
Cash. Naughty minx. She signed the NDA perfectly. Neat little loops reading Ella Ann Hart. But my contract? She accidentally signed as L.A. Hart. An insurance policy? A way to get out of my contract if she finds it to be too much. Clever, but she'll pay for that little trick later. I'm sure she's figured if she got in over her head and wanted out, the fact that she didn't sign her real name would stand up in court. Only there is no court in this kingdom. There is one ruler, one judge, one king, and right now, he's displeased.
Last night seemed endless. Knowing I wouldn't get her alone for at least 10 more hours. My cock stirs at the thought of getting to punish her so soon. Lucky me. I watch her walk up the sidewalk. Her heels too high and her skirt too tight. She glances up at the building, an unsure look furrowing her brow. Her long, delicate fingers comb nervously through her hair. She gives herself a little pep talk, squares her shoulders, and march waddles right up to the front door. Everything about her is perfect. I've hired on a new driver, Ace, one of the deadliest men I've ever met. He once killed a man in a knife fight before anyone even saw him draw his weapon. 1 slash to his enemy's aorta and the fight was over. She'll be safe with him. I asked him to drive slowly, giving me time to get back to the office from my errand. I slide into the leather chair behind my massive mahogany desk. The desk is over 6 feet wide. I had it commissioned, made by hand by the finest craftsman in upstate New York from some place called Cedar Creek. It cost me $50,000 to buy, another 10 to ship. I'd have paid double. The thing is gorgeous. I smooth a hand over its lustrous top, and it's the perfect place to punish naughty secretaries. I picture Ella, laid over my desk, her skirt hitched up around her waist, my fingers sliding a lubed plug made of solid gold into the entrance of her perfect ass. Down, boy. There's plenty of time. I hear the elevator ding from the end of the hall. She's here. My heart seems to be a beat short just hearing her heels as they click down the hall. She stops outside my door, hesitating as she peeks her head in. Sir?
Her eyes go wide at the sight of the wall of windows, my view overlooking the city. Good girl. She read the contract.
Come in.
I wave a hand at the empty seat across from me. Take a seat. Her cheeks are flushed with nerves. She has a habit of biting her pouty lower lip, of wiping her damp palms down the front of her skirt. She places her bag in an open chair, then slides her arms from her long wool coat. The buttons of the light blue shirt she wears tucked into her tight skirt strain across her full breasts, exposing a peek of the lacy black bra hidden beneath. She'll need a whole new wardrobe, one that's tailored to encase her beautiful curves perfectly. After folding her coat neatly over the back of the chair, she sits across from me, leaning back as far as she can. Her eyes dart up to meet mine, but what she sees there makes her look away. Her hands flutter at her waist until she finally decides to clamp them together and drop them in her lap. She waits for me to speak first. I like that. So, tell me a little bit about yourself, I say. What do you want to know? Her eyes dart around my office. I lean in. Everything. She swallows hard. Okay, so I was a preschool teacher up until a few weeks ago. I got into some trouble and lost my job. I think you already know that from Preston. She skates over the whole person of interest / murder suspect thing, and I let her. I live in the city. I like to read. What else? Tell me about your family. Her shoulders tense. Sore subject? I don't have one. Her words are clipped. End of discussion on that topic. Well, since you don't want to talk about you, let's talk about my contract. I lean in, making her more nervous than she already is. Tell me, what did you think of it? The blush instantly rises in her cheeks. She squirms in her seat, wiping her palms on the tops of her shapely thighs. I thought it was forward. Forward? I lean back in my chair, pressing my fingertips together as I study her face. Is that all? You didn't find it shameful or dirty or sexy or absolutely crazy? She doesn't answer. Did you want to hate it? Tear it up? Burn it? But instead you found yourself intrigued? My gaze caresses her lovely curves. Maybe you even found yourself a little wet between your thighs. The flush grows deeper. My lovely red rose. She stutters, shaking her head in denial. I signed it because I had to. I didn't have a choice, did I? She asks the question more to herself than to me. One always has a choice. If you were truly repulsed by my proposition, I don't think you would have signed. You're too strong a woman for that, aren't you? Look. Her palms pressed together in her lap. I'm here now. I've signed on. Can we just skip the whole psychology assessment and get to work? Surely you have some filing that needs to be done? She glances around the room, hopeful I'll point her in the direction of a mundane task that needs completing. You're a little sassy for someone in such a powerless position. Her eyes snap to mine, her lips pressed together. But maybe I need you to ease into this a little. I'm sure the contract was overwhelming. She looks like she's holding back an eye roll, to say the least. How about we start... I pause, enjoying the way her trembling gaze latches onto my face as she waits for me to determine her fate. I wait a beat and say, by getting a cup of coffee. She breathes a visible sigh of relief. That'd be great. I offer her my hand. Her gaze warily flits to mine, but she accepts. Let's play a little game, I say, keeping her hand in mine after she's on her feet. She tugs it away and I let her. There's time. You ask me a question about myself, then I'll ask you one. There's only one rule. Okay. This way, I say, holding the door open for her and guiding her toward the stairs. What's the rule? She asks, stealing a glance at me from the corner of her eye. Total honesty. She thinks over my proposition. She must be curious about me, about why I've brought her here. This game could work in her favor, too. Deal. You go first. I hold the door to the elevator for her, sparing her an unsteady trip on the stairs in those heels. She steps past me, careful not to brush up against me. It's torture. Why were you in the graveyard that night? She asks as we make our way inside. Her question surprises me. I'd have thought she'd ask about something to do with herself in relation to me. I was there to look over something for a friend.
Look over something. Her brows rise. Are you already throwing out the total honesty rule with the first question? She's tough. I swallow back the rising tide of emotion. Okay, it was a gravesite. She gives a little gasp. Your friend already ordered his own grave? I go to answer, but the words lodge in my throat. She looks over my face, and something she sees there makes her voice go soft. I see. I'm sorry to hear that. She brightens her tone, changing the subject. Next question. It's your turn to ask me.
I move on. Were you scared when you read the contract? The scent of her sexy perfume wafts toward me. 3 more floors to go. She peers up at me. That secret little smile she gets like she's in on a private joke crossing her face.
I'm surprised that was your first question. You didn't ask the $10 million question everyone wants to know the answer to. The elevator dings. The door is opening. We make our way through the lobby and she goes to grab the handle of the front door. I reach out, wrapping my fingers around hers. That's not allowed. What do you mean? I can't open the door for myself? Her eyes widen.
No, you can't.
I open the door for her, and she scoots past me. We step out onto the street. The air is cold and clear, the sun shining on us. What's the $10 million question? She walks briskly. I keep pace beside her, waiting for her to answer. She takes a deep breath.
Did I do it? That's what everyone wants to know.
Well, that wasn't my question, I say. Were you scared when you signed on? She shoots me a grateful look. Yes, I was terrified when I read the contract. I still am.
I mean, what woman in her right mind signs something like that from someone like you?
Maybe one that's looking for a little order in her life of chaos. My words stop her dead. She shoves her hands in the pockets of her coat, avoiding my gaze. I slip a finger under her chin, forcing her to look at me. Did I guess right? She nibbles at her bottom lip, thinking.
I don't know. I mean, maybe under everything I was intrigued or curious or... Hell, I don't know.
I capture her chin between my forefinger and thumb. Total honesty. Her eyes lock on mine. It was insane. I knew I shouldn't have signed, but maybe there was a part of me that was intrigued. Her words are a whisper, and they glide through my chest. I let her go. Fair enough. We're standing in front of Perculator, my favorite coffee shop. She waits for me to open the door for her. Thank you. We go to the counter and I order for both of us. 2 cappuccinos, please. I steer her to a table, pulling out a chair for her. With the grace of a queen, she slips into the seat. As we wait for our drinks, I take the time I didn't get in the graveyard to study her face. Her dark eyes are so expressive. She's not one who can hide her emotions. Your turn, I say.
She asks the question I've been anticipating.
Why me? Why not you? She leans in, her eyes laser-focused on mine. You can have any woman you want. You have your pick of ladies in this city dying to be your girlfriend or sign your contract. Or heck, probably pay you to let them work for you. What was it about me that had you calling Preston to arrange this whole thing? Total honesty? I ask. Yes, please. Her eyes study me. I don't know. A waiter arrives with our coffees, placing them before us. Thank you. Not good enough, she says, lifting her cup to her lips. I reach out, lowering her hand until her cup sits back in her saucer. You didn't ask permission. Her brows knit. Excuse me? You need to ask first. Confusion, then anger flashed through her gaze. She's at war with herself. She wants to be controlled, but she also knows she should think it's wrong. And she needs me. She needs what I can give her. I can read the conflict on her face. A moment later, she's made her decision. She reaches out for the cup, slipping her fingers delicately through the handle. She runs the tip of her pink tongue over her glossy lips and lowers her lashes. Her voice is velvety smooth as she says, Please, sir, may I take a drink? My cock goes rock hard under the table. Damn, she likes to play games. Yes, you may. She holds my gaze as she takes a seductive sip, licking her lips. Delicious.
Good girl.
Now, answer my question. She sets her cup down. I ignore my coffee. Adrenaline pulses through my veins like I've already drunk 5 of them. I found you intriguing that night in the graveyard. There was something about you. Something different. Then when I heard you needed help, I reached out to Preston. The contract was just a bonus. I like to have things under my control. I can tell, she says. May I take another sip of my drink? You may. She gives that little secret smile and takes another drink of her coffee. My turn, I say. Cat person or dog person? She gives a decisive nod. Cat, all the way. Why? I like cats because you have to earn their love. Her voice drops. You have to work for it. I see. Her simple answer resonates with me. I get the feeling if someone wanted to capture the key to her heart, they'd have to work pretty damn hard at it. And you? She asks. Dog person, all day. I lean in with a whisper. But promise me you won't tell Pepper. She slips her fingers in the handle of her cup. May I take another sip? Yes. I lean in, close, crossing my arms and setting them on the table. But I want to see you lap it up like a little kitty. Pink splotches bloom on her cheeks. Are you serious? I nod. She peeks around her, taking stock of the patrons in the cafe. Everyone's enjoying their coffee. It's the best in the city. No one's paying us any mind. With trembling fingers, she lifts her cup to her lips. Keep your eyes on me, pretty kitty. The tip of her tongue darts out between her full lips, lapping at the foamy milk at the top of her cup. Like this? Yes, just like that. She takes a few more laps of the foam, the blush rising further up her cheeks as she sets her cup down. Does the pretty pussy like her cream? Oh my God! She looks away, shoving her chair back from the table. I can't do this. My hand snaps out, reaching for her. Yes, you can. And you will. Her shaky gaze finally meets mine. What the hell am I doing? Exactly what you're told. Tell me, is there any part of you, any part at all, that likes being told what to do? Do you get a little excitement or thrill or pulse of joy knowing you could be punished at any moment if you disobey? I don't know. She can say whatever words she wants, but her body doesn't lie. Her breaths quicken. Her face reddens further. She squirms in her chair like she's pressing those pretty thighs together to keep from dampening her skirt with her arousal. I think you do know, and I think you like it. But it's my turn to ask another question. We go on playing the game, asking simple questions of one another. Things like favorite movies, books, colors. We both hate to cook but love to go out to eat. Neither one of us are big drinkers, but we'll celebrate when appropriate. We go back to the office, and her hand never reaches for a handle. When we're settled back in my office, her in her chair across from my desk, she asks me if she can start her real job now. As if being my submissive isn't the most important task she has. I have plans for her that don't include filing, but I think she's had enough for one day. Martha, my last secretary, generously offered to come in and help train you. I'm leaving for the rest of the day, so you two will have free reign of my office. She can give you the lay of the land. Ella looks relieved to get some space from me. Thank you. I buzz Martha in. She enters the room in a cloud of perfume and smiles, pulling me in for a tight hug, then oohing and eyeing over Ella. Well, isn't it lovely to meet you, dear? We're going to have the best day getting to know one another. I slip out of the room. The next day, Ella shows up wearing almost the same outfit. The only difference is that her button-down top is white, not blue. But she looks put together and fresh. A girl who works with what she has. Sir? She says, peering into my doorway, just like she did the day before. Good morning. Come in. I gesture to the chair across the desk from me. Have a seat. Thank you. She slips into the chair. How did things go with Martha yesterday? Her eyes light up and the tension in her shoulders eases. Oh, great. She's lovely. She gave me the lay of the land. The job looks straightforward, nothing I can't handle. I actually get a kick out of organizing. Her words trail off and she gives me a funny look. I get the feeling she wants to say something that may be out of line. What is it? She gives a little shrug. It's just that she seems to really miss you. When she talked about you, I don't know, it was like she was talking about someone else. What do you mean? She shakes her head. unsure if she's skating on thin ice. I don't know, just different. Martha's known me for a long time. Things change. People change. I twist my watch around my wrist, a gift from Christian on my 30th birthday. Anyway, she presses her hands into the arms of her chair, ready to be gone from my presence. I'd best get to work. We'll get to work. But first, tell me, did you fulfill the last line of the contract? Her hands drop to her lap, her hair falling around her face in an attempt to hide her blushing from me. I totally forgot. No matter, I'll do it for you. Her eyes shoot up to mine, flashing with terror. No way! My gaze cuts her like a knife. Excuse me? I mean, I can do it myself, sir. If you just have the supplies here, or I could run out and buy them. Or Ace could take me home and I'll do it there and then I'd come right back. I cut her off. She needs to be commanded. She needs to be taken out of her head. This is the perfect opportunity to make her focus on her body, on my control over her body. I'm going to do it, and you're going to let me. I rise from my chair, towering over the desk. My palms flatten against its pristine top. Aren't you, Ella? Briefly, she thinks over her options. I can see her answer in her eyes before she speaks. The victory of her submission comes in a whisper. Yes. Good girl. I knew you'd be a good girl. I walk around the desk, reaching out and stroking my hand over her soft hair. Now, take off that skirt and your panties and lie on top of my desk with your legs spread. Chapter 5. Ella. I try to convince myself that I can do this, but my heart is beating so hard it feels as if it will burst from my chest. His expectant gaze lies heavy on my face. I draw in air through my nose. Deep breaths, deep breaths. The last line of the contract alluded to me being well-groomed. Everywhere. I smile a dumb smile, staring at his dangerously handsome face while telling myself that lying on my boss's desk, spread-eagled and naked from the waist down while he shaves me down there, is just the same as having a professional woman wax me at a salon. Just like the time Chloe and I were spending a lazy Sunday at her place, eating cookies and clicking through viral videos when we stumbled upon a YouTube star explaining the benefits of a full Brazilian wax. We saved up for weeks, then went down to some fancy place on 5th to let a stranger rip every one of our private hairs from its follicle. We called each other laughing about it for days, but that was a professional female staff member at an established salon. You know, where you usually do these kinds of things. Not on the top of your boss's desk. This is so wrong. But those ice blue eyes aren't taking no for an answer. And what else can I do? Say no thank you? And head back to my pathetic life and my pathetic apartment until my pathetic public defender loses my case and they take me off in cuffs sporting an orange jumpsuit and plastic slides? Is it really so bad to get a free spa treatment from your kinky but gorgeous boss? I'm waiting. His deep, rumbling voice tears me from my tornado of internal thoughts. I startle, almost toppling over in the process of trying to stand from my chair. I lean my ass on the edge of his desk like I was planning on resting there, not falling over like a little girl in plastic Disney high heels. Yes, that sounds great. Self-conscious thoughts invade my fake cool demeanor. How long has it been since I shaved down there? What position will I be lying in? Will he be able to see everything? I haven't taken off a single article of clothing, yet I can't remember ever feeling as exposed as I do at this moment. His eyes hold mine a beat too long. He nods at my chair. Sit back down. You look like you're going to fall over. Thank you. My knees are ridiculously weak, and my legs feel like jelly. I sink back down into the plush leather chair. I cross my legs at the ankles, pressing my knees together. Tiny tickling fairies do gymnastics in my stomach. Has he changed his mind? Was this just a test? He picks up his phone, talking to someone named Kim. His eyes are on me the entire time he speaks. I need one shave kit delivered ASAP. Nope, definitely has not changed his mind. He hangs up without saying thank you. He's going to shave me. Is this Kim person delivering the goods that he will use to bare my skin? If so, then does she know what he's going to do to me? Has he done this to other women here in his office before? And why does that idea bother me so much? I'm losing it. Seriously. I clear my throat, needing to make some nervous small talk. So, is this like a thing you do to all your secretaries? Some kind of initiation or rite of passage, or... He cuts me off. No. Apparently letting someone finish a sentence and saying thank you aren't in his repertoire of otherwise impeccable manners. So just me then. Lucky me. He steps closer until his leg is pressed against mine. Just you. Typically I only hire secretaries over a certain age, and none as beautiful as you. I find it surprising he thinks I'm beautiful. A man as handsome and powerful as him. My eyes flutter to meet his. Why? Too distracting. He reaches out, cupping my chin in his hand. His fingers feel like ice on my skin, but hot electric pulses trail behind his touch. Unfortunately, I find you to be particularly distracting. Ah, is that a good thing or a bad thing? His answer is a flash of his eyes. There's a knock on the door. He calls, "Come in," with enough authority in his voice to lead an army. A girl with freckles and curly blonde hair who can handle her heels about 1,000 times better than me glides into the room carrying a silver tray. There's a dome cover over it, thank God, discreetly hiding the supplies underneath. She gives me a curious look and a flash of a friendly smile. "Ooh, the new girl! Hi!" I go to respond, but I stop myself as her face closes up. "Sorry, Mr. Bachman," she says, scurrying over to a round wooden table that's to the side of the room. "I forgot my place." "Quite all right, Kim. That will be all." She sets the tray down, giving Cash what looks like a nervous bow kind of thing. Then she disappears from the room, offering me one more secret glance before she leaves, a kind smile in her eyes. What does she mean she forgot herself? Is she not allowed to speak to me? I'm surprised by my own audacity. I get the feeling this man has little patience for questions. She only meant to apologize for her new girl comment. We have issues with the beauties sometimes. Gossip spreads like wildfire, you know. They're never malicious, but it can be distracting. This man does not like distractions, that much is clear. The beauties. I remember that term from the naughty contract. Why do you call the woman the beauties? Because they're beautiful inside and out. It's a term we reserve for our women. But that term was in my contract. What does that make me? Am I his woman for now? He deflects. Do you remember what was in the last line of your contract? I thought I was nervous before, but now that silver dome is in the room, I'm terrified. I twist my hands together and start a monologue of nervous chatter. I do remember, actually. I have kind of a photographic memory for the written word. Nothing like genius level or anything, but I just have this funny talent for being able to memorize everything I read. It really helped me through school. I almost felt as if I was cheating or something. Not that I would ever cheat, that's not me. It's just like cereal boxes even. I can tell you exactly what's in a bowl of Fruity O's. He stops my silly rant with a cutting glance. I'm more interested in your contract than your breakfast food of choice. His nose wrinkles with distaste, though we will be discussing your nutrition in the future. My nutrition? I think of the peanut butter chocolate chip granola bar in the bottom of my purse. Clause 9, he demands. Heat rushes to my face, but I obediently repeat, line by line. I shall come to the office, free of body hair, my skin smooth and moisturized. Should I need any assistance in this regard, I give my permission to Mr. Bachman or any spa technician he retains to maintain this level of personal grooming. Good girl. He moves past me, the side of his trousers brushing against my bare knee. His back blocks my view of the tray, but I try to look around him to see what exactly a shaving kit entails. There are a few quiet clinking sounds as he arranges things to his liking. When he turns to face me, he has 3 fluffy white towels folded over his forearm, layered by size. A large bath towel, a hand towel, and a washcloth. A lump rises in my throat, and I swallow hard to get rid of it. Can I actually go through with this? What choice do you have, Ella? You need this man. Besides, now I'm intrigued. What will it feel like to have him touch me? I watch wide-eyed, My palm's damp as he folds the large towel in half, spreading it over the center of his desk. He neatly folds the hand towel, placing it to the side, the washcloth on top of it. He goes back to the tray, retrieving 2 bowls of water, steam rising from their rims. He sets them down on the desk, then goes back to get a small clay mug with what looks like the thick handle of a makeup brush sticking out of it. Something silver catches the light, glinting and grabbing my attention. It's a straight razor. One of those old-timey ones you see in movies where there's a barbershop scene and some obscenely rich man is getting a shave, the sharp end of the flat metal bar dragging over his cheek. Nope, no way. There's too much going on down there. Too many delicate folds. I like my vagina just how it is. That razor looks terrifying. One slip and I could lose my inner labia. No thank you. I shake my head, my voice croaking like a frog. There's no way that thing is going near my lady parts. I hold in a groan. Did I really just say lady parts out loud? Ella. He holds the razor in his palm like a punishing teacher would a ruler. This is an exercise in trust. Do you trust me? His dark brow curves sky high, demanding an answer. Let's see, you're a perfect stranger who gave me a ride from a graveyard, then hired me, and your very first order of business was having me sign an NDA and a sex contract. So, no, I don't inherently trust you. No offense. He gives a dark chuckle. I love how people tack no offense on the end of a sentence like it wipes away their offending remarks. Funny, I've had the same thought. He moves closer to me, the razor flashing under the lights. But I didn't ask you if you thought my actions were peculiar or strange or unconventional. I'm sure they are. All Bachman men's tendencies would be considered unconventional by society's standards. Again, that's not what I asked you. He holds the razor out, bringing the flat, cold metal under my chin. The hairs on the back of my neck stand at attention and my breath holds in my chest. I don't move an inch, my eyes locked on his icy gaze. I asked you, do you trust me? I can't tear my gaze away from his eyes. They're cold. Everything about him is cold, regulated, rigid. But I do trust him. I don't know why I do, but I do. It's the reason I got into his car that night. The same reason I climbed inside the car when his driver picked me up outside of my apartment today. He's just so in control, and I feel anything but. I trust you. My words come out in a whisper. A smile curls at the edges of his perfect mouth. I know. That's why you're going to stand up, remove your skirt and panties, and climb on top of my desk. Now. Fuck, I'm doing it. I stand on shaky legs, but the one good thing about this is kicking off these pinching high heels. I go to slip one off my feet, but I'm stopped by a low growl. I glance up into his stormy eyes. Did I say anything about removing the shoes? No? Holy hell. Okay, No what? There goes the brow. Climbing. No, sir. I'll leave the shoes on. My fingers tremble as I reach behind me, searching for my zipper. After what feels like an eternity, I find it, lowering it down over my curves. The skirt is tight, and it takes a humiliating shimmy to get it over my thighs. I scooch it down, stepping out of it, careful not to hook the tip of my heel in the skirt, and fold it. I place it on the arm of the chair. The cool air rushes up my bare legs. Now for the panties. Thankful for the tail of the front of my long button-down shirt that was tucked into the skirt, I'm afforded a bit of privacy. I reach up underneath the shirt, grabbing the waistband of my black lace panties. I tug them down. They roll as I push them down until they're a little bundle I'm kicking from the toe of my shoe. They lay discarded on the floor between us, like a flag declaring my shame. I go to pick them up. To further my humiliation, he beats me to it, retrieving my panties from the floor. He holds them out for me to see the cotton gusset facing me. There's a damp spot from where he's had me pressing my thighs together since the moment his eyes locked onto mine this morning. These are damp. He shoots me an accusatory glance. Your fault, not mine. What does he expect? He might have met me in a cemetery, but I'm not a corpse. I give a shrug. Your contract was pretty sexy reading material.
Talking about it does that to me. He brings my panties to his face, closing his eyes and inhaling deeply. The man is smelling my panties. I'm going to die. He looks right at me as he turns them right side out, folding them neatly. Intoxicating. Just like I knew you would be. Dear God in heaven, did this man just compliment me on the scent of my pussy? Thank you? We're wasting time. Up you go. Up on my desk. He slips my panties into his pocket. Guess I'm not getting those back. I teeter over to his desk, naked from the waist down, goosebumps rising on my flesh. It's an awkward climb, but I manage to do it. Somewhat, hopefully, sexily? I'm climbing onto his desk, my palms gripping the edges of the cold wooden top, my knees moving across the towel. It's ridiculous to try and maintain my modesty when I'm about to be on full display, but I still try not to flash anything at him as I turn myself over. My bare ass sinks onto the towel. My hands go behind me, pressing flat onto the desktop, seeking stability. I bend my legs at the knees, resting the bottoms of my heels on his spotless desk. My legs part, cold air rushing over my hot sex. I instantly press them together, my knees locking. This feels weird and shameful and completely erotic and sexy as hell. A funny smile curls my lips and I try to hide it. He comes to the end of the desk, putting a hand on either of my knees. What's so funny? I don't know, just nervous, I guess. Don't be. Lie back. Like, lie down? Yes. Keeping my thighs glued together, I take a deep breath, trying to relax as I lie back on the hardtop of his desk. I fold my hands under my head and stare up at the pattern on the ceiling tiles. Pretty. No detail overlooked. No expense spared by the Bachman Enterprises. He puts pressure on my knees, pressing them apart. I give a low moan and squeeze my eyes shut as he opens my legs. Cold air dances over me and chill bumps rise on my thighs. The faint, sweet scent of my sex reaches me, tipping me over the edge, making me think I really am going to die of shame. There's a clinking sound and I peek between my legs to see what he's doing. He's got the handle of the brush and he's moving it around in the mug in circles, creating a foamy lather. With the care and attention of a surgeon, he brushes the white foam over me. The cold lather tickles my skin as he smooths it over my outer lips, his hand dangerously close to my clit. I lie there, my mind feeling floaty and detached from my body, trying to wrap my mind around what's happening. I can't believe I'm doing this, but there's a thin line of power dancing just below the shame. I look down at my body, at his hands on my body, and a warmth of arousal heats my skin. I look sexy, and he looks damn swoon-worthy, working his hands methodically over me, having him work on my body like he's sculpting a work of art. It's almost more intimate than sex. I've never been this vulnerable. A new feeling in me awakens, but I can't put a label on it. A desire to see if I have a kinky side? To do more of these crazy erotic things with him? I'm curious what else these 3 weeks will entail. The brush strokes over my skin, leaving behind a foamy lather. His fingers dance over my skin. He's spreading the cheeks of my ass. I try not to clench, shooting up to I am, my sex goddess confidence suddenly vanishing. What are you doing down there? What do you think I'm doing? I'm removing all of your body hair. He calmly strokes the brush along the crevice of my ass. He's removing all of my hair. I lie back down, a rush of breath escaping my chest. This is no different than Sheila, I tell myself. Remember those hot strips of wax as she tore them from between your ass cheeks? Totally normal to have your boss shave around your asshole. Totes. Normal. He's picking up the razor. I can't watch. I throw an arm over my eyes, focusing on the sensation between my legs. Stay still. Oh, I will. Don't worry. That pulls a deep rumble of a chuckle from him. His hands are steady. I can feel the care and concentration he's putting into his motions as he glides the blade across my mound. I peek at him from under my arm. He's completely enthralled with his work, with his jaw locked tight and that muscle twitching. It feels warm and wet, and there's the gentle pressure of his hand keeping me in place as he glides the razor over my skin. In between swipes, he dips the blade into the bowl of warm water, rinsing it, then wiping it on the hand towel. When he finishes with my outer area, his fingers move inside my sex, parting me for his work. My clit throbs as he works around it, begging to be touched. Just an accidental stroke, or swipe with his deft fingertips. Please, God. My sex clenches and a fresh wave of arousal lubricates my sex. I sneak another peek at his face. If he notices how wet he's making me, he doesn't show it. He's too focused. This man knows what he's doing. I lie back, letting a deep breath settle in my chest. His razor blade moves between my ass cheeks, swiping and gliding, removing every hair from between them. When he's satisfied with his work, he wets the washcloth in the unused bowl of warm water, then squeezes the excess water from it. He uses the washcloth to wipe the last bits of shaving cream from my skin. The feel of the warm, wet cloth against my bare skin sends another wave of desire through my aching core. He pats me dry with the hand towel. All done. Thank you? I sit up on my elbows, looking at him, awaiting further instructions. That's all for today. He pins me in place with his gaze as he wipes his hand on the towel. Tomorrow, we'll talk about your fake signature on my contract. His tone is stern, and that sharp daddy gaze that makes me feel oh so naughty hits me, making me press my thighs together. My clever little ploy to sign a fake name on the contract should I need to back out no longer feels so clever. I'm suddenly regretting my decision, and I get the feeling I'm in serious trouble.
Chapter 6. Cash. The third day of Ella's contract, I'm not there to greet her. I'd rather be playing with her, but I've got an appointment this morning. It's one I promised Christian I would attend, but I've been putting it off for weeks. I'm just about to enter the NYC, Administration for Children's Services building, when my phone rings. It's Big Brother checking up on me. Hey man, I'm here. Good. Listen. He drops his tone to the one I've dubbed Serious Christian. I know this isn't your thing, but try to pay attention in there, okay? Look, if this is important to you, it's important to me. He keeps pressing. I know you have Betty and all, but, bro, I cut him off. He's got enough on his plate. He doesn't need to worry about this. I got it. I promise. Thanks. His voice gets tight. My cue to get him off the phone before we both fall apart. Love you, man. I got this. I know you do. I open the heavy glass door and step inside. The hall is dimly lit. The walls painted a cheerless yellow. Damn, I hate it here. But I can do this. For her. I find room 305. There's a lot of other men my age. They all have the same dark circles under their eyes I've seen on my brother. Only their stress comes from how to carry on their own. For Christian, it's an entirely different beast. I find a seat in the back, pull my phone from my pocket, and work through a few emails while I wait. I hate wasted time. At 9 a.m. on the dot, a tall woman with a wide grin and a halo of tight brown curls steps into the room in purple loafers.
Welcome, newly single dads. I'm so glad you could all make it. I'm B.
She holds up a brush and some ribbon. Are we ready to have some fun? 3 hours later, I can make a braid, a high ponytail, and pull back a bun worthy of the New York City Ballet. I can fry an egg and make the perfect grilled cheese without Betty's help. I know the recommended hours of sleep and nutrition requirements for children from birth to age 18. And I've now memorized every detail of a woman's menstrual cycle. Thank God I'm about a decade away from having to worry about that. It sounds like hell. B pats me on the shoulder as I'm leaving the room. You're going to do great, Cash. You really paid attention to the details. I can tell you care about this. Thanks. I offer her a tight smile. She gives my shoulder a squeeze. If you have any questions, you just call me. I will, I say. When I get back to the office, I'm ready to stop playing daddy and go back to being Cash Bachman, billionaire bachelor bosshole. with a sexy little secretary hovering under my thumb. I spread a clean towel over my desk and call Ella into my office.
"Sir, you wanted me?"
Her eyes are saucers filled with pools of fear, swirling with curiosity as she enters the room and sees the towel and the bottle of oil on my desk. A pretty blush comes over her. I knew from the moment I met her she's a strong woman with a weakness for authority, and underneath it all, a sex goddess waiting to bloom. I'd like you in the same position as yesterday. Skirt and panties off. Lie back. Legs spread. She makes the same little shy movements as she did yesterday, trying to maintain as much modesty as possible, getting into position. She sits up, leaning her weight back on her hands. Her long, bare legs jut up into the air, the heels of her shoes resting on my desk. The sight of her bare, shaven pussy makes my blood run hot as my heart pumps it through my veins double time. I turn the bottle of almond oil upside down over my opened palm. She watches as the golden liquid pours downward. First, I'm going to massage this into your skin. It's good to moisturize the skin the day after a shave. Her teeth sink into her bottom lip as she watches me move my fingers through the oil in my palm. I reach out, a pulse of energy shooting from my cock to my core as I cup her sweet sex. She gives a shuddering sigh, her eyelids fluttering closed. I stroke my hand over her, massaging the oil into her smooth, bare skin. She gives a moan as I caress her. My slick fingers slide between her folds. Her eyes pop open, that beautiful flush creeping over her face. Her lips form an O of surprise, but there's no protest coming from them as I run my fingertip over her clit. A hard shudder rocks through her body from one simple stroke. I already own her. I tease her, circling around her clit. You'd do anything I ask. Say anything I ask you to if I just let you come, wouldn't you? She stares at me, her teeth sinking deeper. Answer me, baby. I pinch her clit between my fingers. She gives a desperate whimper. Yes, sir. I can't let you come. Not yet. You've been a bad girl. I sink my finger into her tight entrance until she gasps. You need to be punished. Ah! Her eyes roll back in her head. Tell me. I add a second finger to the first, thrusting them inside her. She moans, her hips squirming on my desk. What name did you sign on my contract the other morning? Her voice is a breathy gasp. L.A. Hart? Hart with an E? I slip my fingers from her. She pants in desperation, her legs falling further apart. And what is your name? Ella Ann Hart? Her eyes beg me to touch her. No E. I pull back my hand, bringing it down on her pussy in a sharp spank. Her eyes fly open wide, a look of shock paling her pretty face. What? Oh my God, what are you doing? Punishing you. Since you have a photographic memory, tell me what my contract states about me punishing you. I spank her pussy again. The sensation of my hand slapping her pussy sends a current through her, and she shudders. The tip of her pink tongue runs over her lip. She takes a nervous gulp, then recites with breathy, desperate words. Mr. Bachman may punish me when I disobey. Any punishment will be determined by him, the severity dependent upon the severity of the infraction and the displeasure I cause Mr. Bachman. He may use my body to punish me at any time, in any manner, anywhere, and in front of anyone he deems appropriate. Signing the wrong name is the same as lying, and I hate lying. It displeases me very much. I bring my hand down again, spanking her lovely pussy. When I pull my hand away, her skin is pink. She shifts her weight beneath her, aching for my touch. Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. I love to see a strong woman reduced to whimpering. I slip my fingers along the seam of her sex, finding her entrance. She's even wetter than when I first touched her. Naughty girl. I think you're enjoying your punishment too much. I pump my fingers inside her, curving my palm around her sex, resting it on her mound as I crook my fingers. The soft pads of their tips find that velvety skin inside of her,
the spot that will drive her wild, and I stroke. Moments later, she's gasping for breath, her hips bucking shamelessly in the air. Oh my God. You don't have to call me God. Sir will do. She shakes her head at my terrible joke, a moan escaping her lips. I knead the heel of my palm against her clit as I finger fuck her, enjoying the look of utter desperation painted on her face. As the climax builds inside her, she's caught somewhere between torture and treasure as she fights her way to that peak of ecstasy. I lean in close, my lips a beat away from her ear. Should I let you come, even though you've been bad? Horror fills her eyes. The thought never crossed her mind that I wouldn't let her have her sweet release. Oh my God. I love to see a girl beg, especially a bright, feisty one like Ella. I move my fingers in her faster, applying more pressure against her sex with my palm. Beg me. Her grinding hips pick up the pace with my hand. Oh, please, please, sir. Please let me come. Her eyes grab mine, and there's a shocking bolt of connection that passes between us. For a second, it makes me wonder who's really in control here. But then she begs again. Please, Cash, please make me come. Hearing my name on her lips, it's my undoing. Despite all my better judgment, I lean down, pressing my mouth against hers. Her kiss is hungry, desperate. I slip my tongue into her mouth, caressing her mouth with the same motions my fingers explore her sex. Her pussy locks down around my fingers, her back arching, her hips freezing in midair. She screams with pleasure as the orgasm racks her body, but my kiss captures the cry of her victory. I keep kissing her as I slip my fingers from her, running their slickness over her swollen bud. I break our kiss just long enough to command her. One more. Come for me one more time. Just a few circles over her clit, my tongue in her mouth, and she's all the way back to that place, bucking and begging. I caress her, drawing a second shuddering orgasm from her body. When she's spent, she collapses against my desk. I break our tangle, leaving her with a soft kiss on her cheek. Oh my, that was... Her mouth opens and closes, her eyelids fluttering open as she comes to. She glances up at me shyly, her skin an enchanting mix of flush and glow. Amazing. Thank you. My pleasure. I slip my hand from her, cleaning it with a towel. She's so beautiful, so tempting. I want to take her right here and now, but she's like a cat. It's going to take time to earn her. And I've got a shit ton of work I need to catch up on after spending hours in the class this morning. Are you ready to do your job? I ask. Yes. I help her sit up, help her down from the desk. She stands on wobbly knees, still unsure of herself in her heels. One more thing before you get dressed. Oh? She gazes at me with her wide eyes. Did you think a few spanks on your pussy would square us? I don't think so. Lying is a severe infraction, and I'll deal with it accordingly. Come straight to my office tomorrow morning for the rest of your punishment. Oh, okay. She quickly gets dressed, smoothing her clothing into place, fiddling with her hair. Can I go now? Yes, you may. Her ass rolls in her skirt as she makes her way out of my office. I hate to see her go, but I love to watch her leave. She's really starting to get the hang of those heels. Ella, I call. Yes? She glances over her shoulder. 9 a.m. Don't be late. She arrives right on time the next morning. Her hair hangs over her shoulders in shiny waves. She wears a navy skirt today, with a pinstriped shirt buttoned up to her neck and a navy sweater over it. She looks oh so achingly modest. I want to see what's underneath. Come, have a seat. Good morning to you too, she says. I don't miss the trembling in her fingers as she clutches the arms of her chair to anchor her in her nervous state. I feel her gaze follow me as I walk over to the side table. I open the drawer, surveying my supplies. I take my time retrieving what I need to punish my naughty secretary. When she sees what I hold in my hand,
Her fingers shoot up to cover her gaping mouth.
Is that what I think it is?
I hold up the shiny gold plug. What do you think it is?
Is that a butt plug?
She gulps. Seems you already know what this is and what it's for. I use it on naughty girls. A reminder to be good while you work. Every time you feel it, I want you to think of me and your obedience to me. I grab the tube of lube from my pocket. She jumps at the sound of the cap snapping open. I squeeze some lube on the head of the plug, holding her gaze as I coat the cold metal. Bend over my desk. She eyes the little plug with horror.
But it's huge!
It's the smallest one I have. I knew she'd have a virgin ass. Little does she know, a few more weeks of working for me and she'll be ready for my cock in that tight little hole of hers. Now move. She looks unsure, almost as if she wants to protest or disobey. But one stern look from me has her teetering back over to my desk. She shoots me a nervous glance and presses her palms into the desk. She lays herself over the top, her breasts pushed against the wood. I take a deep breath, soaking in her beauty. She peeks at me over her shoulder. Her long dark hair hangs over her pretty blushing face. Her brown eyes are wide with nerves, but they hint of animal-like curiosity and desire. Her hips are round, the skirt hugging the curve of her ass. She's perfect. I stalk toward her like a panther to his prey. I set my supplies on the desk where I'm sure she can see them. I grab the zipper at the waist of her skirt, lowering it slowly. The fabric opens for me, and I tug it down over her hips, letting it drop to the floor. She's wearing virginal panties today. White, full-cut cotton. I grab their elastic waist, pulling them over her hips and down her long, shapely calves. She steps out of the clothing and I pick up the skirt from the floor, folding it neatly over the back of her chair. The panties I slip in my pocket. Spread your legs for me. She shuffles her high heels apart, spreading her legs. I lift the tail of her shirt, folding it up and over her back. Damn. The sight of her bare legs rising up from her black high heels to meet the curves of her ass. The vision hits me in my core, my breath catching in my throat. I move toward her until the fronts of my thighs brush against the back of her legs. Reaching over her, I grab the lube, squeezing some onto the tip of my finger. I slip my slick fingertip along the crack of her ass until I find her sweet little rosebud. She gives a gasp as I smooth the cold jelly over the entrance to her ass. Now take a deep breath and relax. She obeys, taking a long, shaky breath. I flatten a hand over her lower back, grab the plug, and nestle it between her cheeks. I press the head of the plug against her ass, slowly pushing past the tight ring of muscles. Just breathe. She gives a whimper as I push the plug further inside her. Her muscles try to fight me, but I work it in slowly with a gentle but firm determination. I keep pushing until it's all the way in her ass. She shifts her weight on her feet, giving a low moan. How does it feel? I feel so full. She moves her hips, bending at the knees, trying to get used to this foreign thing in her ass. It feels strange, kind of heavy, tight. Every time you feel it, remember I require total honesty from you. Yes, sir. I grab her arm, helping her to stand. She shifts her weight again, feeling the plug inside her. She shoots me a look of shame that makes my trousers tight. Now get dressed. Kim will come get you and show you what to do. At the end of your workday, come back to my office so I can remove your plug. Understand? Yes, sir. She glances at my pocket. My panties? Mine. She shimmies into her skirt. I do the honors of sliding the zipper up her lower back. I slide the small red velvet box I've hidden from my pocket. And one more thing. I snap the lid open, revealing the necklace I picked out for her at Bachman's Jewelers just before her arrival that first day. It's an amethyst, her birthstone, on a silver chain. She eyes the jewel with awe. Has she ever owned something this nice? It's gorgeous. Is that for me? She glances up at me with such pure joy I feel the urge to give this girl the world. I clear my throat, making my tone gruff.
I can't let her know what she does to me. It's a token of your submission.
She smiles, reciting the rest of the clause from the contract.
I will wear it 24 hours a day and will not remove it unless I am instructed to do so by Mr. Bachman.
She lifts her hair from the nape of her neck, waiting for me to adorn her with it. I lift the necklace from the box, undoing the clasp. I move behind her, nestling the jewel in the notch of her clavicle and clasping the chain. Her smile widens as she takes the gem between her fingertips, twisting it under the lights.
So pretty.
I watch her, momentarily frozen by her sweetness, her beauty. She leans up on her tiptoes, placing a chaste kiss on my cheek.
Thank you.
It's nothing, I grumble, turning away from her. Kim will be expecting you. My office suddenly feels stifling hot, like a sauna. I can't breathe. I'm feeling too much for this woman. This is madness, having her work for me, having her sign my contract. She's just a stranger I met in a graveyard, yet something about her pulls me toward her like the pull of a magnet. I move past her, my hand on the door. Go find Kim. I'll see you at the end of the day.
Oh, okay.
Is that disappointment in her voice? I leave the office, closing the door behind me. I keep her panties in my pocket. Chapter 7. Ella.
I'm teetering around in my 2 high heels, wearing absolutely nothing underneath my too tight skirt since Mr. Bossy stole my panties. They're sitting in his pocket right now. I think of the day he inhaled their scent, and I go hot all over. My sex clenches, making my ass clamp around the plug. Damn, walking around his office, feeling all of these new erotic sensations, they make me wonder where this kind of thing has been all my life. I had no idea I was so vanilla. Vanilla, with a few rainbow sprinkles at best. But this, him, I feel like a purring sex kitten. As I walk, I sense the plug, and it makes me daydream about him, and all the filthy things he might do to me. When did I become this rabid for kink sexaholic? I'm obsessed. It's unnerving. I shouldn't be thinking about him day and night. I should be running out the door, but I'm not. Ever since that moment in the graveyard, I haven't been able to stop thinking of him. His scent, his clothes, that muscle twitching in his jaw, the pale blue of his eyes that suddenly turns from icy cold to the sky on a warm summer's day. Hot and cold. That's Cash Bachman. Or Sir, to me. I finger the jewel around my neck, a reminder that I'm his according to our contract. His to do with as he pleases. His to please. My face heats and I wonder if I'll ever stop blushing over this man. This is crazy. During the first week of the contract, I've been forced to lap my coffee like a cat, had my boss shave me on his desk, had my you-know-what spanked, and then had a butt plug shoved up my ass. And I agreed to it all. Yeah, I'm insane. But I'm this far in. Might as well earn that paycheck. I walk down the hall, flipping my hair over my shoulder like I belong here. Fake it till you make it, right? At least that's what Chloe always says. It's easy for Chloe to fake it. She's like a chameleon. She can fit into any social environment. I could use some of her energy right now. I want my phone to text her, but it's in my purse in his office, and there's no way I'm going back in there yet. I'm still trying to process the fact that I laid spread eagle over my new boss's desk while he massaged the most powerful, earth-shattering orgasm from me that I've ever experienced. Damn. Another gush of arousal pools between my thighs, my sex clenching, the feel of the plug heavy in my ass. I'm not sitting down today for fear there will be a damp patch on the back of my skirt when I stand up. He effing stole my panties. I need to focus. Right. Find Kim. Stop thinking about sex, and find Kim. As I glide by glass office partitions, I feel like I'm finally getting the hang of my shoes. Each office is filled with beautiful, powerful people going about their day, surrounded by breathtaking views of the city and desks that cost more than my first car. I feel a tug on my elbow and turn to find Kim's friendly face. "There you are, Ella." "Oh, hi there." My words catch in my throat as I remember her walking into Cash's office, holding the tray with the silver dome. I've been shadowing her a bit, but there's usually a lot of girls around. Today it's just the two of us, and she's going to show me the copy and file room. Her friendly smile disarms me. "Hi! We didn't get to properly meet before. I'm Kim, but my friends call me Kimmy. I can tell you and I are going to be friends, so please, call me Kimmy." She reaches out to shake my hand. I take her hand. It's warm and small, and instantly I feel a liking for her. "Thanks for letting me shadow you this week." "No problem. You must have made quite an impression on Mr. Bachman. He's never had a secretary so young before. He's got a strict rule to only hire older married women. But you..." Her eyes rove over my body, and she gives a bawdy wolf whistle. "You're a little hottie." I can't help but to laugh. I don't know about that. I think he just felt sorry for me. I was in a bind, and, well, it doesn't matter, does it? I'm here now and ready to work. Mr. Bachman told me to find you. Feel free to put me to work. First things first. She grabs my hand, pulling me down the hall. "Let me show you where we keep the coffee." The break room is clean, beautiful, and fully stocked. I could easily eat breakfast and lunch here, have a late snack before I go home, and never buy groceries again. Kimmy, shows me how to use the fancy espresso machine to make a foamy cappuccino. She adds a dusting of sugar and a sprinkle of cinnamon to the drink. It's delicious, but a tiny part of me is scared I'm going to accidentally slip out a meow as I sip it. Again, I'm crazy to be here. Once we're fully caffeinated, she takes me down to the copy room to run through the tasks for each day. There's the usual filing and copying and organizing. Kimmy tells me the Bachmans like to have a paper copy of every document. These are the tasks that others might find mundane or boring, but with the chaos I've endured in my life, I find the job soothing. Kimmy's organized like me. She even straightens the corners on the stacks of paper when she sets them down. We agreed on many important facts, like how pencils go pointy side up in the cup so they don't get dull. Post-it notes should be offered in many brightly colored options, and every file label should be printed, not handwritten. We have another very rare personality trait in common. We're women living in New York City who actually eat real food. She grabs my hand at the beginning of our lunch break and says with pleading eyes, "Please tell me you're not a salad for lunch kind of girl." "Heck no, I'm a burger kind of girl." We laugh. "Me too." She grabs her purse from the hook on the wall of the break room. "I know the perfect spot. It's only 2 blocks from here. It's a super cute place. They even have red and white checkered tablecloths, and the fries are always fresh, hot, and super salty. Let's go." My stomach rumbles, but the empty piggy bank in my mind's eye tells me I'll be eating the free food in the break room until payday. That sounds amazing, but my treat. I'll buy this week. She gives my hand a squeeze. Her smile is so genuine and sweet I can't say no. Okay, but I'll buy next week. Deal. Over perfectly seasoned burgers nestled in buttery buns, we chat about the Bachmans. I can see why Cash cut her off that first day when she came into his office and called me the new girl. This girl loves to gossip. Nothing mean or malicious, just fun or spicy stories about all the people she knows. And there's so many salacious rumors swirling around this family of dominant men and their gorgeous women that she's got enough ammo to last the full hour of our break. Over the last few fries, she asks me, "So what did you do before this?" "I was a teacher for the primary school." "Oh, swanky. I'll bet there were some hot dads strolling in and out of there." She swipes a fry through a mountain of ketchup, popping it in her mouth. "Did you have a favorite?" "Dad?" I laugh, shaking my head. Then I think of Janie and my daughter turns into a throat clearing. "I did have a favorite student, though." Kimmy reads my change in mood and her voice quiets. "Tell me about them." Something about Kimmy just makes me open up. The words seem to pour out of me. A little girl, Janie. I tried not to have favorites, but there was a certain sadness in Janie that drew me to her. a heaviness in her little shoulders like she was carrying the weight of the world around with her. She'd lost her mother, just like I had. Only when her mother took off, she was left with a loving father instead of being abandoned on the steps of a hospital. Still, it broke her heart to be left behind. A feeling I know all too well. I've said too much. I clam up. Sorry, I didn't mean to lay all that on you. I can't believe I just spilled my sad life story out to this girl. Kimmy's disarming for sure. She puts a warm hand over mine. Shit, Ella, you've had a time of it. I give a sniff. I'm all right now. What was Janie's dad like? She asks. I think of Mr. Taylor. If I did have a favorite dad, it would be him. Every morning he'd braid her hair down her back, tying the end of it in a pink ribbon. I'd watch the two of them walking down the sidewalk. She'd squeeze his hand so tight. He had dark circles under his eyes and tired lines around them. I assume because he's a single parent, but he always had a smile on his face for his little Janie bug. Every morning he'd lean down, hug her tight, and kiss her cheek. He'd promised to pick her up right on time, and he always did. She gives a dreamy sigh. What a sweet man. I bet you missed that job. Yeah, but you know what? I'm really liking my coworkers at my new job. I give her a smile and she shoots me a silly grin back. Our heels click against the pavement as we make our way arm in arm back to the village. There's a separate guarded corridor off the street for pedestrian Bachman employees that leads us right to the rear entrance of Bachman Enterprises. Ace is working the door, and he gives me a look caught somewhere between a grin and a grumpy smile as he reminds me, 8 o'clock, skater. You got it, sir, I reply with a wink. Kimmy's voice goes all gossipy. Oh, is Ace your driver? I've heard he's deadly. Cash, Mr. Bachman, sent him over this morning, I say. She gives me a nudge. It's okay, you can call them by their first names, we all do, just not to their faces. Otherwise, how would we ever tell them apart? She brings up a question that's been in the back of my mind. I ask, so, do they legally change their last names when they join the Brotherhood? Yes. First, you have to be vetted. If a man from the family gets to know someone and sees potential, or say there's an all-star super loyal employee working for the family, they test them, and if they want to join, then that man goes through some kind of super intense secret initiation process, and no one really knows what it entails. She shrugs. Then, they legally change their last name and it's official. And women? How do they join? I ask. She gives a desperate sigh. Only by marriage. And unfortunately for me, I haven't found my Bachman hubby. Not yet. Oh, to be a beauty. She gets a far-off, dreamy look in her eye that reminds me of a Disney princess. Just in the short time I've been in the village, I've seen the way the men care for the women. Little things like holding their arm as they escort them along the sidewalk, helping them into their coats. I don't think I've seen a woman open a door for herself since I've been here. I think of the plug nestled between my cheeks, the outrageous thing that happened on Cash's desk this morning. Are those normal everyday occurrences when you're a beauty? My body responds to my thought, my nipples straining against the lace of my bra, my sex pulsing. I think I'd like to find out. As the end of the day nears, my stomach starts to clench with nerves. It's almost time for him to remove the plug from my ass. Will he have me bend over his desk? What would that feel like? Shame rushes over my chest and creeps toward my face just thinking about lying in such a precarious position again. And if I'm being totally honest with myself, I'm incredibly turned on. I can't deny the dampness between my thighs, the heat throbbing through my sex. I want him. I want to feel his hands wrap around my waist, his fingers fumbling with the zipper on the back of my skirt. Ella, quit daydreaming about him. I'm starting to think that maybe I'm not crazy. My lunch with Kimmy has me wanting to make this work. This job could be good for me. And as for the shameful contract, I can handle it. Only 2 weeks and 1 day left. It's 5 o'clock. A lump rises in my throat and I swallow it down. Time to go see the boss. Cash is sitting behind his massive desk, dark-rimmed glasses on the end of his nose, studying a piece of paper he's got pinched between his perfectly formed fingers. How can someone's hands be so damn sexy? He hasn't noticed me yet. I clear my throat. He doesn't look up. I didn't know you wore glasses. He doesn't bother to glance up from his paper. There's a lot you don't know about me. I know, just making conversation, I guess. I step into the office uninvited and inch my way over to him. He finally acknowledges my presence, peering at me over the rim of his glasses.
How was your first week so far?
Good. Kimmy is super nice and helpful. I think I've gotten the hang of the day-to-day tasks. His eyes bore into mine. Just a look from him has me clenching my ass around this damn plug. My thighs pressed together hard. Like if I tighten my body enough, I can keep him from entering my thoughts. That stare, though. Those blue eyes. The way he runs his hand over his jaw as he watches me. Is it fair for a man to be so damn good-looking? To have so much power over another's physical being with just one stare? I'm the first to break our gaze. I shift my weight on my heels, waiting for him to speak. He doesn't. Is he waiting for me to share more information about my day? Should I ask him to remove the plug? I feel the presence of the little golden plug hanging between us like a massive pink elephant standing in the middle of the room. I clear my throat again. It's becoming a nervous tick around him. Chloe's meeting me at the dive tonight. We were supposed to go Monday, but I put her off. I don't want to be late. She's already annoyed with me as it is. I'm meeting a friend for drinks, so if you could... I shrug my shoulders as my voice turns into a mouse-like squeak. You know. He sets the paper down, folding his arms across his chest as he leans back in his chair, his eyes never leaving my face.
Could I do what, Miss Hart?
Has he forgotten? I take an assessment of his face. There's a glint in his eyes. He's not forgotten. He just wants me to say it out loud. Seriously? I take a deep breath, letting the shameful words rush out at once. Could you please remove the plug from my ass, sir?
There's a good girl.
He rolls his chair back, away from his desk. He spreads his legs apart, a big hand reaching for his thigh. He gives it a few pats, beckoning me to him. Come here. Oh shit. He wants me over his lap? Humiliation burns hot on my skin. Can I do this? Can I actually cross the room and lay myself over his lap? I've never laid myself over a man's lap. Exposed myself like this.
Patience is not my strong suit, Miss Hart. I don't like to be kept waiting.
He pats his thigh again, his stare burning into me. My feet and stomach feel as if they've been filled with lead as I make my way across the room. I'm close to him now, my knees almost touching his outer thigh. A waft of his cologne reaches me, musky and masculine. He removes his glasses, folding them carefully and bending forward at the torso to set them on his desk. He leans back in his chair, his eyes on my face, always on my face, making it burn hotter than it already was. He takes my hand in his. Come, he says, and guides me over his lap. His thighs are strong and muscular under my torso, a secure place to rest since my knees have stopped working, my legs gone to jelly. I don't know what to do with my hands. Press them to the floor? Grab a leg of his chair? My head falls forward, my hair a curtain around my face. The tips of my toes press into the floor behind me, my ass perched over the edge of his thigh. So beautiful, he murmurs, smoothing a hand over the back of my skirt. I feel his hand lift, then it lands in a surprise smack that startles me. Oh! The sting from his open palm rushes over my curves. He just spanked me. I've never been spanked before. Not that I hate it. The sting grows warm, and I shift my weight, rolling my hips. I can't tell if I'm horrified or turned on or both. Before I can decide, he spanks me again. Tell me how I feel about lying, Miss Hart. You do not like it. I roll my hips, wanting to rub the burning sting from my curves. He spanks me again, harder this time, and I find myself sucking my breath sharply in between my teeth. You really don't like it, sir.
That's right. And deception is the same as lying to me, isn't it?
Yes, sir. I feel his fingers dancing along my waist, searching for the zipper at the top of my skirt. I gulp as he tugs at it. The room is so quiet, I can hear the individual metal teeth separating as he lowers it.
Recite for me the punishment clause of our contract, young lady.
I clear my throat. I really need to stop doing that. I press my sweaty palms to the gleaming hardwood floor. Mr. Bachman is entitled to punish me when I disobey. These punishments will be determined by him, their severity dependent upon the severity of the infraction and the displeasure I cause Mr. Bachman. He may use my body to punish me at any time, in any manner, anywhere, and, in the front of anyone he deems appropriate. A sudden burning need to know rushes through me, giving me the bravery to ask, "You wouldn't really do that, would you?"
Do what?
He shoves my skirt up over my hips. Like, you wouldn't really punish me in front of someone?
The high-pitched squeak returns to my voice.
Would you? He tugs at the tail of my shirt, folding it over my lower back. His hand smooths over my now bared to him ass. Chill bumps rise on my skin where he caresses it.
I would if I deemed it appropriate, but you'd be fully clothed.
His hand moves over my skin, stroking my ass, his palm cupping my curves.
This is for my eyes only.
Another sharp smack lands on my ass, and this time it's skin against skin. The sound of the spank cracks through his office. The sting of his bare hand against my skin is like little licks of fire. It hurts, but as it spreads over my skin, the warmth turns me on. I can't believe I'm lying over this man's lap, letting him spank my bare ass. And I'm kinda liking it. What the hell is wrong with me? He spanks me again and again, his hand landing on unmarked territory, the stinging sensation covering both my ass cheeks. A whine rises in the back of my throat, and I find myself squirming over his lap. He spanks me again, even harder, and it hurts. But damn, I'm so wet. He stops spanking me long enough to admire his work. Smoothing a hand over my heated curves, he croons, "So pretty and pink for me." His words make my sex throb and clench. Shame and confusion fill my mind like a spiraling cloud, making me feel heady and light, and downright sinful all at once. I had no idea how much I love a little light BDSM. I guess you have to be with the right guy. Who knew the right guy would be my hot new boss? I guess sometimes if you're shy, it takes a contractual obligation to move you out of your vanilla comfort zone. Shit. Does everyone in the office know I'm being spanked like a naughty girl right now? Can everyone hear this? I ask, panicked.
All family homes and offices are soundproof. We value our privacy. But don't think that means everyone doesn't know exactly what happens behind closed doors.
I gulp. So, all the girls in the office know that you punish me? He runs his fingers down the crack of my ass.
All the girls in the office either have a man who looks after them or hope to one day have one of their own.
Oh. I shift my hips, heat suddenly spiking between my thighs. I didn't realize so many women were into this lifestyle.
Are you?
His fingers crawl between my cheeks. He pushes against the handle of the plug, applying pressure that makes me squirm.
Into this lifestyle?
I don't know, I answer honestly.
Let's see how wet you are, then we'll know.
Oh, shit. Looks like I've been hiding my freak flag, but it's there. The proof's slick between my thighs. Suddenly his hands are gone from my ass, traveling towards my sex. Two thick fingers thrust inside of me, making me gasp and my fingers press harder into the wood floor.
So wet for me. I think you're way into this lifestyle.
You just haven't admitted it to yourself. I don't know about that.
Careful. After all, you're in this position for lying. You're dying to have your control taken away.
What makes you say that? My hips wiggle against him.
I knew it from that first second I spoke to you in the graveyard. When I reprimanded you for being there alone, your cheeks blushed and your gaze went all subby on me.
Subby?
Submissive. You were just a lost little girl looking for a man to take you under his wing. A woman who wants to be in the arms of a strong man.
His words alone make another dampening of arousal whet my sex. Deep down, have I always been craving a man like this? One who is in control? Not through threats and intimidation, but earning my submission with his cool, confident commands and sexy ways. His fingers tug on the handle of the plug, pulling it out slowly. It's such a strange sensation. I can't hold back the strangled moan that leaves my lips. When it's out, there's a heavy emptiness where it used to be. Just another reminder of him. He pats my bottom, then helps me up from his lap. My sex is throbbing, wanting more of his fingers. My ass aches for something, but I'm not sure what. But he's not showing any signs of pleasuring me. He's all business, holding my skirt out for me to step into. My hands sink onto his shoulders, balancing my weight as he helps me dress.
Remember, your orgasms belong to me. No pleasuring yourself tonight when you're thinking of my hands on you. Instead, I want you to focus on the importance of telling the truth.
A chaste goodbye kiss on my lips, and he's gone. And I'm left a horny, throbbing mess. Luckily, I have drinks with Chloe to distract me. I breeze into the bar a few minutes early thanks to my personal chauffeur.
Elle, you look amazing. Business babe looks great on you.
She slides into the booth, unwrapping a fluffy pink scarf from her neck.
How's the investigation going? Have they let you off yet? I'm buying tonight, by the way. I know you're up to your eyeballs in bills.
Thanks. I'll get you back next time. Soon I'll be able to afford to buy all our drinks. Not yet, but don't worry. I've got a fantastic lawyer.
Yeah, she rolls her eyes. The gorgeous Preston Bachman, I know. What's up with those guys anyway? Don't they run the city or something?
I think of my NDA. I don't know. Luckily, the waitress comes and we order 2 whiskey sours. She eyes me warily.
So, does he think you have a pretty good defense? I mean, they don't think you did it, do they?
No. They are really great and assure me everything is fine. I change the subject, my eyes trailing to a small butterfly on the inside of her wrist. Hey, is that a new tattoo?
Yeah.
She smiles, gazing down. She traces the wings with the tip of her finger.
I got it to remember Aaron.
She got a tattoo? To remember my ex-boyfriend? A white heat flashes over my skin, making me slightly nauseous. I try to keep the shock from my tone. I didn't realize you two were so close.
Well, we did have our own things in common.
Like what?
I loved his art. He was just so deep,
so troubled.
It's like when I looked at his paintings, I could see his soul.
Her eyes go distant like she's someplace else.
He loved for me to come to the gallery and look at his work before a show.
This is news to me. I didn't even realize they were friends. Neither had mentioned anything to me about these meetups. I didn't know you guys... what's the right word here? Hung out? Her eyes meet mine, slightly cold, and they send a chill through me.
Well, he never thought you liked his art.
I did. Sometimes it was a little dark for me. He favored angry colors in his paintings, reds and blacks. The way he painted my face that one time, he thought I looked beautiful in it. I thought I looked scared. She rolls her eyes.
Exactly, you just didn't get it. But that's okay, not everyone does.
Okay. I'm not sure what to say. My best friend and my boyfriend had a relationship outside of me, and I had no idea. But the world doesn't revolve around me, does it? They were free to have their own friendship, I guess. And besides, what does it matter now? I say the only words that come to mind. I'm sorry he's gone.
Me too.
She shakes her head sadly, touching the tattoo.
He was just such a sensitive soul, you know?
We chat, catching up on one another's lives. I try to focus the attention on her life, not wanting to talk about mine. The drinks get delivered and disappear quickly. Chloe's from enjoying a relaxing night out, mine from nerves. Refills show up minutes later, courtesy of 2 drunk guys at the bar.
Thanks, girls' night out.
Chloe gives them a wink, holding her glass up in a cheers, then turns her body away from them to make sure the message is clear. We're not interested.
Can't beat a free drink.
I think of my empty bank account.
You're not wrong. I've been getting my fair share of free champagne.
Oh, tell me how. I take a sip of my drink.
I've been hanging out with Jake a little bit.
From the gallery? More secrets revealed. Jake ran Aaron's gallery. He always gave me an uneasy feeling. He manipulated people to get what he wanted, but I guess that's how he's become so successful. I didn't know you two were friends either. She gives a shrug.
Yeah, I go to his openings. All the free champagne I can drink.
Oh, cool. How did you two end up hanging out?
We got to talking at the funeral.
The funeral? A bleak affair. I spoke to almost no one and left as soon as it was appropriate to do so. Right.
Jake was hoping you'd let him photograph you. You know, he wants to try to finish out Aaron's last exhibit, since he didn't get the chance to.
Her last words have an accusatory bite to them, and I don't like the way it makes me feel. I don't know.
Ella, look.
Her eyes lift to mine. She sets her drink down.
I don't want to pry, but you've never told me what happened that night.
She reaches out, placing her hand over mine, but it feels cold, not reassuring.
You can talk to me. You can tell me what really happened that night.
I've put her off long enough, and I don't mean just delaying our girls' night out since Monday. I've been avoiding her since the accident. I guess at some point, I have to talk to someone other than the police or my lawyer about it. She was close with Aaron, too. Apparently closer than I thought. I mean, she's got a tattoo to remember him by, for goodness sake. I owe her some kind of glimpse into that night, don't I? I clear my throat and start the horrible story. Aaron had come home drunk, angry at the world, furious with me. I still don't know what really set him off that night, made him pull me out of our bed. Maybe someone at work ticked him off or a friend made a joke at his expense. I don't know. I won't ever know. All I know is that I forgot to leave the light on for him.
Artists are like that, aren't they?
She takes a deep swig of her drink.
Passionate.
Yeah, but this was... Anyway. I always suspected Chloe had a bit of a crush on Aaron. She was flirty, but with him, it sometimes felt more familiar than innocent flirting. I know I was just being paranoid. Living with Aaron made it easy to become paranoid. She shrugs.
You thought something was off with him, didn't you?
She eyes me almost suspiciously, like she's asking me to confess. Wait, you don't think I ignore my drink, my stomach suddenly going sour. She laughs.
Oh, no, I just meant I don't know, you were upset with him though, right?
Upset is an understatement. I ignore her question, going on with bits of the story. Anyway, I remember him screaming about how I was too lazy to flick a switch, how I didn't ever think of him, how I never think of anyone but myself. I shake my head, which isn't true. My stomach turns. She looks uncomfortable.
Let's stop there. Besides, I've got to pee.
She jumps up from the table, giving me a smile that doesn't reach her eyes. I take a deep breath as she walks away to the restroom. I remember Aaron's harsh words. You never think of anyone but yourself, Ella. But that's not true at all. Because that's the one thing about an abuser. They're the only one you ever think about. You never stop thinking about them. Your thoughts, your dreams, your daydreams, all consumed by them. What will be the next thing that sets them off? What can you do to keep from upsetting them? What did you do to make them fly off the handle last time, and how can you avoid it this time? The answer is, you can't. We'd been together for a year. Things hadn't always been bad. Aaron was the first man I said, "I love you" to. We'd been standing on the arched wooden bridge over Jack's Creek, along our favorite hiking spot. He was standing behind me, holding me, my back against his chest, his lips brushing kisses through my hair. I remember feeling truly happy for the first time in my life. Complete. I'd told him I loved him. He'd nuzzled against my hair, saying,
"My God, Ella, you're so beautiful."
It never registered then that he didn't say it back. Now, sitting here at our old haunt, the dive, the past comes rushing back. Aaron's spiral to ultimate destruction begins to make sense to me. With Chloe gone from the table, I go over the events in my mind. After that day on the bridge, after I told him I loved him, something changed. He became less secure about us, like he was afraid he would lose me, as if me telling him I loved him caused some kind of panic in him. And he took that unease out of me. He became short with me. He was angry. Often. His temper would erupt at random things, and I could never anticipate what would set him off. One day I was sitting for him, for a painting, a portrait he was doing of my face. I sat as still as I possibly could, even holding my breath for long periods of time, but every few minutes his fist would come crashing down on the table beside him, rattling his jars of paint and making me jump as he shouted,
"Damn it, sit still!"
It got worse. He never hit me, but the threat loomed nevertheless. It was always there, running like the creek under that bridge. I stopped feeling safe. Aaron became more and more erratic and was often provoked by the smallest things. He'd even accused me of cheating on him once. Something I had never, ever dreamed of doing. That's not me. That's when I began to suspect Aaron's change in behavior had less to do with me and more to do with an outside force. Sometimes his pupils looked dilated, and he would speak at full tilt. Other times he wouldn't get out of bed for hours. I'd heard of writers and artists taking drugs to enhance their work. I searched the apartment for pills or powders, but I had no idea what I was looking for. I suspected his paranoia in particular was caused by drugs, or the after effects of uppers or something. But I had no proof, and I couldn't approach him about it. That would have proved explosive. I was stupid, I know, to stay when he became abusive, and then to continue accepting his behavior. I enabled him when I should have been strong enough to leave, but I wasn't, and he became progressively more irrational. Then there was his art. He accused me of hating it, of not being deep enough to get it, of thinking that I was above it, or that it wasn't good enough for me. None of that was true. It's just that some of his paintings made me uncomfortable. I've had enough darkness in my real life. I don't need it staring back at me in a painting. I prefer flowers, landscapes, calming nature scenes, but I knew he was incredibly talented, and I told him that daily. Still, he grew to resent me. I thought maybe it was part of what made him come unhinged, how he reflected his own feelings for himself onto me, or maybe it was fear of me leaving him that made him completely unhinged that night. No matter what I did, I could never, ever be reassuring enough for him, even though I tried. But I didn't learn that until it was too late, not until I had blood on my hands. But I can't tell Chloe all that. I can't tell anyone. It's too terrible. The police took my statement, but I heard the cop telling his buddy there were more holes in my story than Swiss cheese. That was when I knew I needed a lawyer. I could have given them more information, a lot more information, to prove my innocence. But it felt wrong to speak ill of the dead, even if it meant pegging me as a suspect. A shiver runs down my spine and I give a little shudder. I murmur to myself, I think I'm going to be sick. Chloe returns to the table, putting an arm around my shoulders.
Elle, I didn't mean to upset you.
No, it's okay. I try not to pull away. Sit. She slides back into the booth across from me.
You'll never guess who called me when I was in the bathroom.
I really don't care. I'm ready to go. Who?
Jake. She leans forward. He really wants you to reconsider sitting for him. He says he thinks he could make you a star with his photographs. A star? More attention is the last thing I want. I'm growing more uncomfortable by the minute, ready to leave my old life where it belongs, in the past. She shakes her head. Forget about it, just an idea. Tell me about your hot boss instead. We make small talk and laugh a little, but something seems off between us. I feel the void between us growing wider, the memories of sitting together on a park bench, laughing over how much strangers look like their dogs while stuffing our faces with pretzels from carts grows further away every day.
Chapter 8. Cash. Pepper is in rare form tonight. I brought him his favorite, bits of ham and cheese. Betty wrapped them in wax paper for me to bring to the graveyard. Pepper polished it all off in 4 seconds flat, and now he's meowing his head off in between licks to his whiskers, his long tongue claiming every last taste of his dinner. He trots beside me as I make my way down the moonlit path, meowing and turning his head from side to side, like he's looking for someone. I'll bet he's thinking about Ella. I reach down, giving his head a scratch. Yeah, buddy. You and me both. I can still smell her on my fingers, in the fibers of my clothing. Her scent. Her being has somehow permeated my existence. It's like I can't think of anything without my thoughts winding back to her. There had been an issue with some of our overseas accounts I had to settle. It reminded me of her money issues. I deposited an advance on her salary into her account. My nutritionist brought my lunch of grilled chicken and a Greek salad, and I'd instantly wondered what she was eating for lunch, worried she was only having those protein bars she carries in her purse. I wanted to wrap up a few loose ends from the day. Instead, I dove deeper into the file Mateo had given me on Ella. She was interested in ballet when she was younger and was apparently quite good. One of the foster families she was with for 2 years paid for her lessons, but when she was moved to another home, the lessons ended. She is generous, often donating to charities even on her meager salary. Every December she sponsors a child in need, sending them clothes and toys for Christmas. She was in a scrape of a car accident as a teen. The other person was at fault, but she didn't even contact her insurance about the scratch on her bumper, just let them go. There's a painting of her, done by her ex, hanging in one of the smaller galleries in the city. It's a vibrant watercolor of her face. I looked it up. Her dark eyes seem haunted and her hair swirls around her shoulders. It reminds me of a lost little girl. The artist was talented, but I can't help wondering if it was him who made her expression so haunted. Betty knows something is up. She's tiptoeing around me, telling me I'm grumpier than usual. She's tried all her usual tricks to calm me down. She cooked my favorite dinner, tilapia with kale and brown rice. She brewed me a pot of mint tea with a hint of sweetener. When that didn't work, she poured me a stiff gin and tonic. I let her go for the night so I could come here and brood in silence. I know she meant well, but her henpecking was driving me crazy. There's only one woman's attention I'd be open to right now. I've fucked up. I've completely intertwined Ella's life with my life at a time when I'm not available. A time when all of my attention outside of work needs to be focused on one thing and one thing only. My brother. The ringing of my phone explodes through the quiet night. I slip it from my pocket, looking down at the screen. Of course. It's Christian. Hello? His boisterous voice bursts through the phone. He always was the fun one. The one with an unending supply of energy. Where the hell are you? I stopped by your house with a bottle of Maker's Mark, but no one was home. Oh, shit. I took a walk. A pregnant pause of silence crackles through the phone. Cash. There it is. The accusatory big brother tone I can't stand. The one that always makes me confess. Yeah? You aren't where I think you are you? Tell me you're not there again. He heaves a heavy sigh. Cash. I don't answer. Jesus, man, he huffs. I can picture him running his hands through his wavy hair like he does when he's agitated. I can't believe you're there, again. You've got to stop this madness. His voice softens. Stay put. I'm coming down there. No, don't. But he already hung up. I sink down onto a cold iron bench behind me. The dedication plaque reads, "In loving memory of Charlie D. Smith, loving father and husband." Seems like the man upstairs always takes the good ones, doesn't he? It should be me. Pepper jumps up beside me, curling against my $900 pants and covering them with his fur. I stroke him behind the ears like Ella did, and I'm rewarded with the deep vibration of his purr. I wait for Christian. A half hour later, he comes jogging down the path in his work suit with a smile on his face and a bottle jostling in his hands. He always was a warrior when times were tough. I try to paste a smile on my own face, but it falls flat. Careful not to disturb Pepper, I make room for Christian on the bench. I see you've got your shadow again tonight, he says, nodding at Pepper. He plops down beside me, a cloud of cologne and unfailing energy. He wraps an arm around my shoulders. You all right, man? Yeah, of course. If he's here with a smile on his face, I kind of have to be all right, don't I? It's the least I owe him. Where's your girl tonight? Girl's night out, he grins. Last-minute thing with a friend. I think they're going for pizza and a movie. So you're flying solo? I nod to the fifth of makers. Hence the booze? Hence the booze, he laughs, peeling his arm away from me to tear the plastic from around the cap on the bottle of bourbon whiskey. It's not the best, but it's what we drank when we snuck out of the house as teens. I guess we're both feeling a little nostalgic lately. How'd class go? He asks. Fine, I say. Have you heard from her yet? He nods sadly. Yeah, we tracked her down. She doesn't want to have anything to do with this. She said she'll sign the papers when it's time. Of course she doesn't. She was always one to think only of herself. Better she stays out of the picture. That's good, then. Silence stretches between us. Christian takes the first swig, long and deep, then passes me the bottle. Remember we were kids and we'd race? Yeah, I drink after him. A longer, mind-numbing gulp. The whiskey joins the gin I had earlier, leaving a pleasant fading glow in my limbs. I was 2 years older than you, but I'll be damned if you didn't beat me every time. And you never gloated or held it over my head. Just politely kicked my ass like it was nothing, then told me, "Great run." You wouldn't even be out of breath. He shakes his head. His voice lowers and his eyes travel to mine, locking in. I guess this is kind of like that. You just gotta keep on running. My reply catches in my throat. There's so much to say, yet no words can fix this. So really, there's nothing left to say. Here. My voice is tight as I hand him back the bottle. You need this more than me. He pushes the whiskey back to me. Hell no. You're the one in the harder spot. We've had this argument many times over the past few months. Never able to settle on who got the shorter end of the stick this time around, but there's one thing we can both agree on. This sucks. I take a drink and pass it back to Christian. He takes another swig, staring out over the concrete monuments. You're going to be all right, you know that? I know. I lie. We sit and drink and pretend we're going to be all right. The next day at work, I'm totally out of sorts. I make stupid mistakes, lose my focus. When Ella comes in as beautiful and distracting as ever, I get angry at myself for breaking my rule and hiring a secretary under the age of 50. Why the hell did I do this in the first place? She has no idea how gorgeous she is. How tempting the roll of her hips are under that damn skirt of hers. She neatly lays a stack of files on the corner of my desk and flips her dark shining wave of hair over her shoulder. Anything else, sir? Yes, you kneeling between my legs and taking me in your mouth. Fuck. I've got to focus. I can't even look at her or my heart starts pumping blood double time. I stare at the screen of my computer, grumbling. Just a fucking cup of coffee. She tenses. I can feel it. Then she clears her throat, making her voice bright and unaffected. Right then. 1 fucking cup of coffee coming right up. Though I'm not sure we have that flavor. It might just be your usual hazelnut I bring back. We'll see. A grin creeps up at the corner of my lips. I do my best to hide it. Hazelnut is fine. Less cream than last time? I swear you're trying to fatten me up. You figured me out, she giggles. Next I'll be sneaking sugar in your coffee to sweeten you up. I can't take any more of her adorable quips right now. I need her out of this office so I can breathe. I lower my glasses and raise a brow at her, giving her the look. You know I don't do waiting. It has the desired effect. She skitters from my office to the break room, calling, "On it!" over her shoulder. The day passes much the same. I make any and every excuse to keep my distance from her. I need to get my head straight. I leave before she does. Saturday and Sunday I take long runs in Central Park. 12, then 13 miles. I come home exhausted and numb. I go to the grocery store for the first time in 10 years. I crawl down the aisles tossing foreign-to-me foods in my cart from Christian's list. Mac and cheese, juice boxes, tiny baby carrots instead of the real ones. On Monday morning I realize it's the second of Ella's 3 weeks of my contract. But all I can think about are the changes that are coming into my life and how no matter how hard I try to be prepared, I'll never be ready for them. I can't see her right now. I grab my coat, my bag, and make my excuses. The rest of the week I find work outside the office to keep myself busy. I suddenly find it pressing to visit Preston at Bachman & Bachman and immediately begin my annual overview of their accounts. It has to be done. Every year I take 1 full week and plant myself at the law firm to go over everything. This year I just happened to arrive a few weeks earlier than usual. Anything to not be trapped in my office, distracted by the temptress of a siren I stupidly hired on. I spend the weeks assembling furniture in my spare room, making purchases Betty suggested, like a toy box with a safety hinge. I tidy up my bachelor things, as Christian asked me to. I roll the bar cart into a hall closet and stow away my priceless collection of breakable sculptures. When I'm done, my guest room looks like a pink, sparkly cloud threw up on it. I return to Enterprise on Monday with only 1 week to go in her contract. The time away has been good. I feel focused. Well, as focused as I can be with the most beautiful woman in the world working for me. Ella doesn't see me, but I watch her as she makes her way through the hallways. She's become a part of the office. She's friendly with everyone, patting shoulders, smiling at little inside jokes. She likes it here. And in the absence of me and my suffocating contract, she's quite at home, totally herself and in her element. And in my time gone, I've renewed my dedication to my priorities. Space was good for both of us. Let's keep it that way. Mid-morning, Ella comes striding into my office, oblivious to my presence. She's humming to herself, flipping through a stack of papers in her hands. She has no idea I'm the one who requested them to be put on my desk. Finally, she looks up, surprise flooding her features. "Oh, I didn't know you were in today." "I am. Are those the reports I requested?" "Yes." Instead of handing them to me directly, she sets them on the center of my desk, straightening the corners of the papers before she pulls away. "Anything else?" "Let me see. Like your mouth on my cock? You bent over my desk while I croon, 'Good girl,' and fuck you from behind?" "No, I think that's it. You can help Kimmy the rest of the day. The files are here from Bachman & Bachman. You'll have a lot of copying to do." She shoots me a curious look. "I heard that's where you were last week, while you were gone. Does that mean last week doesn't count for a week of our contract? You know, since you weren't here and all?" "Don't worry about it." I dismiss her question with a wave of my hand. The contract was for the first 3 weeks of your employment, regardless of what my schedule is. Oh, okay. That makes sense. She holds my eye a beat too long. Do I catch a glimmer of hurt in her gaze? I don't know. She was so unsure of this whole arrangement to begin with, I'd think she'd be relieved that I'm leaving her alone. I don't want to hurt her, but I can't also afford to fuel this obsession I have with her either. The girls become wrapped up in getting the annual reports for the law firm copied and filed. They don't even leave for lunch. Instead, they order in from the deli down the street. I barely see her the next 2 days. I almost think I'm cured of her, but I'm a fool. Thursday, she's wearing a new outfit. A red dress made of a silky material that hugs her curves in all the right ways. It's a wrap dress held at her waist, tied in a bow. I want to grab her, untie the damn thing, and watch it fall to the floor. I know from the faint outline of her nipples she wears no bra underneath, and I'm dying to see her panties. She breezes into my office like she's wearing a pair of overalls instead of the most enchanting garment I've ever seen on a woman. She's delivering paperwork to me, and she makes the most enticing show of doing so. She bends at the waist, letting the deep V of the neck of her dress show off the top curves of her perfect breasts. I'm becoming more uncomfortably aware of the outline of her pert nipples through the thin silk. The view makes my pants impossibly tight. Here you go, sir. She grabs my eyes, running the tip of her pink tongue over her glossed lips before she says, Anything else? Is she teasing me? Paying me back for my coldness toward her? She straightens, throwing a hand on her hip, which only serves to make the fabric strain tighter across her breasts. I can't take it anymore. I can't resist her. I have to have her. A moment later, I'm standing on the other side of the desk, Ella in my arms. I run my finger from her neck down the silky slope of fabric that hugs her breasts. She gives a little shudder, her dark eyes wide and locked on mine. I move my mouth to her ear. Why this dress? I love red. I cup her breast in my hand. She gives a little smirk. I liked it. But did you wear it? I brush the pad of my thumb over her pert nipple, making it go taut. Because I would like it? Clause 5 says I should wear attire appealing to Mr. Bachman. So, maybe. She shrugs. But you haven't been very interested in our contract lately. Do you miss it? I'm not sure. She looks away. Part of me wore this dress. Her words trail off. I think you wore this dress to get my attention. I think you're tempting me. I smooth my hand down her ribcage, cupping her waist in my palm. Are you? Her lids flutter as she looks up at me coyly from under her lashes. Why would I do that? It's been all business around here the past week. I clutch her ass, bringing her against me, hard. She gives a little gasp, her hands going to my chest. I run the tip of my tongue from her collarbone to her earlobe. You wanted to see what I'd do. She gives a sound caught somewhere between a moan and a whimper. I give her earlobe a little nip. Do you still want to see what I'd do? I pull back, searching her eyes for her answer. Fuck. There's so much shame there. So much desire. It makes me harder. I want her. She knows that. She's just testing me to confirm that I want her. And I do. Desperately. That's why I've pushed her away. My feelings for her have gone beyond my control. And that's what this whole thing was about. Control. Now I'm spinning out of orbit. But damn, the feel of her pressing against me as I inhale the sweet scent that is her hair, her skin. Just her. It's too much. I have to have her. I will have her. My mouth is on hers. Heat and fire. And she kisses me back, and all the desire I see in her eyes transfers to her kiss. I wrap my arms around her, holding her tighter, needing her as close as possible. I run a hand over the back of her hair, gathering it in my fist. I clench it in my fingers as I slip my tongue between her lips. She wraps her hands around the back of my neck and molds her body to mine. Her breasts press against my chest, her thighs against mine. The eagerness in her kiss thrums through my chest. So I spin her around, slamming her against the edge of my desk. Breaking our kiss, her eyes shoot up to mine. Oh! Was I too rough? Judging by the way her breath comes faster and her cheeks flush, I think not. My mouth is back on hers and my hands are grabbing the hem of her skirt, rocking it up around her hips. My fingers slide against the sateen gusset of her panties. They're damp. A faint hint of the sweet scent of her arousal reaches me. Already wet for me, aren't you? I run my finger along the seam of her sex through her panties. I'll bet you've been thinking about me. About our contract. About the dirty things I made you do, haven't you? Her hands press against my chest like she wants to push me away. I pull her in tighter. I trail biting kisses down the back of her neck. I'm careful to leave marks. She'll have to cover them with her hair tomorrow. No sexy ponytail for her. I press my finger against her sex, teasing her entrance through her panties. Tell me, do you miss it? Our contract? Do you have to be such an ass about it? She asks. I slide her panties to the side, slipping a finger inside of her. Do you miss it? She gasps and tilts her head back, her voice going raspy, ripe with sexual energy. Yes. Okay, maybe I do. Her eyes flutter open and she catches my gaze. What does that say about me, huh? Some stranger buys my body, does what he wants, then ignores me and lets me do my work? And I end up trying to seduce him. God, I need to quit. I have issues. Your only issue is resisting what you really want. My fingers hook into the waistband of her panties. And what you want is me. She presses her palms into the desk and lifts her hips, letting me tug her panties over them. Her eyelids are heavy as she shakes her head, whispering to me, I'm going to quit, you know. Don't. They love you here. I glide the panties down her legs. She steps out of them, kicking them from the toe of her shoe. They get caught on the end of her spiky heel. One hand slowly stroking down her bare calf. I bend down, detaching the little red scrap of fabric and shove it in my pocket. I want you here. Another from my collection. Still, I am, she breathes. My mouth finds her ear, my hand twisting in the hair at the nape of her neck. You're not quitting, I say as I pull. I let go, grabbing her hips and lifting her up. I move her skirt up her back so when I set her down, her bare ass is pressed into the top of my desk. She lazily snakes her arms around my neck. Her protests are weak. Yes, I am. This isn't healthy. She spreads her legs for me. This is what you need. I undo my belt and my pants, freeing my cock. This is what you want. She shakes her head again, but her body moves toward mine, begging me to be inside her. I don't know. Yes, you do. I won't ignore you anymore. I grab her hip, pulling her in as the head of my cock nestles against her hot, slick opening. Maybe I need this too. I open my mouth, capturing hers in mine, my tongue swirling against hers. All the wanting, the desire, the need bubbles up to the surface like a lava dome building up in a volcano before it erupts. Her thighs wrap around my waist, locking me into her. I push inside her sex. It's hot, wet, and needy for my cock. Her muscles clench around me, sending pulses of electricity coursing through my entire body. Our union is hard and fast and furious and feral. We're two animals using one another for the same end goal. Utopia, release, transcendence. We move together, hips thrusting into hips. Our bodies rocking in time and crashing into one another, bruising, battling, both trying to get from the other what we need most, to rise to that ultimate climax. Our mouths are as intertwined as our bodies. I no longer know where her tongue ends and mine begins. She's panting into my mouth, whimpering my name over and over. Cash! Cash! Oh God, Cash! She clings to me, her fingernails leaving scratches on my back. I desert her mouth to kiss her breast, sucking and biting the curve of her flesh till there's a deep bruise marking her as mine. Her fingernails find my hair, my neck, clawing at me as her legs lock impossibly tight around me. Her breath is hot. Her words are fire in my ear. I'm going to come. Her carnal confession sends me over the edge. Come for me. Come all over my cock. She moans, her head flying back, her spine arching, her sex locking down on me like a vice. Holy shit! I give her my all, fucking her as hard as I can, milking a first orgasm, then a second from her breathtaking body. Damn, her face when she comes. She's astonishing. I'd have her painted in this moment if I could, to capture her in her untainted, wanton ecstasy. Her body curls around me as she crashes down from the climax, and I know it's my time. I let go. I let it all go. A guttural groan rising up from the core of my being. I cling to her, coming inside of her, filling her with everything I have. My seed flows from her, running down all over her thighs, pooling under her ass, slickening my desk. I cup her face in my hands, bringing her to me, inhaling the scent of her hair, pressing kisses into her cheek. She pulls away. Her emotive eyes search mine for something more. I've nothing left to give.